where the wild dogs stray. The Paul pastor is calling, showing them the way. With scripture and scratches, he'll turn wrong to right, redeeming furry rascals from that old devil's bite. Next time on the Paul Pastor. Brother Dave's faith is tested to the tether when he takes on a trinity of treacherous tail waggers. Diggy Azalea, the Australian terrier who pilfers produce from the garden of Stephen. Bentley, a regal English bulldog who just can't seem to stop masturbating. And Dave's most unholy challenge yet, Skittles, a bug-eyed terrorist who supports Israel about as much as bath time.
What you did to this portrait of Ben Shapiro is a hate crime, Skittles.
In the sacred word of Paul, mighty dog, get this dirty bitch to stop stealing. Can baptism break this blue blood's boner? Can this bad pro-Palestine pup become a good bar mitzvah boy before he gets perma-banned by PayPal?
My name is David Schitler, and I'm a dog minister.
'Cause the eyes of the pastor are upon you. Any bone you bury, he's gonna see. When you're chasing,
Lord is my leash holder, I shall not beg.
that's where Paul
Hello
Pastor's
there.
gonna
Guess you're ready to spread the good word.
Hey, thanks for being on the. I'm always watching the Derp with Kurp. What a great derp I have today, because I brought back Castaldo to explain plasma to me, because he came on with Gary Wayne and it was ridiculous to have three people on there. How are you going to have Gary Wayne and the dude who knows about plasma at the same time? This is not an interview show. I don't know what to tell you people. Anyway, let's welcome our guest, Castaldo. Bring it in, How you doing, brother?
What's up? We're about to get derped hard. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I got I donate to a dog ministry in my area that brother David Schitler, his name is, and he does fine work. It's a normal name, Schitler. It's not. There's no reason to be immature about it. To the people watching.
Well, I know somebody named Jack Wiener. I mean, how do you name your son?
Yeah, Jack Wiener, because they didn't call it Jack. I have no idea why you would do that. It seems like you're sabotaging on purpose.
Well, it's a Jewish name. There's a lot of Jewish people in New York here, so. But
is Wiener?
Yeah.
There's not like there's no.
There's a lot of wieners in New York, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one frazzle drip wiener. So all right, your background is you're a Strega. Is that what you said to me?
No. Yes.
Bloodlines of a Strega.
I do have Italian mysticism in my blood, right? And it's sort of
wear a condom, dude. I told you. I'm shitting.
Yeah. No. I know, dude. I love it. Don't trust me. I'm gonna have fun today with it. And I'm one of the few people in the world I actually think that's qualified to discuss plasma physics within mythology and within the ancient writings.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, not only do I have a background and I'm a senior undergraduate in plasma physics, but me and you were the same age, right?
Oh,
I have
really?
I'm born 78 though. I think we're a year apart.
Oh
right?
yeah, you're probably
Yeah, you told me you were born 77, all right? Yeah, so like 30 years plus of my life has been involved in mythology and translating ancient writings, right?
Why connect them? I mean, that's quite a range of things to be studied.
I realize that the base of religions is divine information about the sun, and that's all plasma physics.
Oh, that's an interesting thing I never heard before. All right, go ahead, explain this to
me. And so yeah, I come from Italian background all over the Italy, and yeah, both of my sides of my family, we have ancient names. You know, the Bianco, Colombo, Castaldo. These are all sacred names that are involved not in just Roman Catholicism at first and Christianity, but first it was mysticism and, like you said, the old religion.
Colombo, like the Mafia name?
Yeah, dude. I have so much karmic debt that I'm like, even my name that I don't really want to talk about my personal family too much, but who I'm named after. I'll talk about myself. Who I'm named after. My great grandfather, when he came to Italy, he went to prison for a mob related hit. right? And you can look it up in Westchester County, New York. I mean, same name as me, Raffaele Antonio Castaldo. That's where Rock comes from. And yeah, he made like a mysterious hand sign and then shot the guy 4 times in the chest.
Is that
Yeah.
well? I mean, a lot of mafia stuff seems like either like knockoff. I mean, so all gang shit to me looks like Freemason thing. You got your secret sign language, you got your sigils you put everywhere, you know, all that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I realized that all of that background, a lot of my bloodlines and a lot of our bloodlines, and even I'm not special. Anybody coming from Europe has most of this in their bloodline, right? A lot of people all over the world.
What does that mean to have that in your bloodline? What does that even mean?
Well, before Christianity existed, before Muslims existed, before any of this existed, we had these tribal religions on this planet, you know, that goes back to not just Aryan, it goes back to the Asura and the Devas and some of the original tribes on this planet, which
Aryan just means nobles.
It means nobles. It means noble person, but it comes from,
right?
Yeah, it comes from the ancient Asura and Deva clans. You know, and you have 5 main Aryan people where all that stems from. You have the Anus, where eventually you get Anunnaki emerging from, and all of that, right? You have the Purus, the Yadus, the Turvasa, all these 5 Vedic people that made up the 2 sides, the Asuras and the Devas, right? And the Asuras and the Devas are basically the warriors and the priests, the Kshatriyas,
right?
and the Kshatriyas and the Brahmins, right? You have the Asuras, which are the Kshatriyas. They are the warrior priests. So don't look them as on opposite ends of the coin. Now, for these ancient adepts and these ancient, you know, hybrids, basically, if you want to call them, you know, Nephilim, the Aboriginal tribes that were.
I like to say Star Child.
Right? these were not just adepts in one area, right? They were warriors and priests. They were shaman and scientists, right? They were astrologers and astronomers, right? They were all of this merged in one. Science and spirituality was intimately fused together, right? And a lot of the rituals and the god worship that we have now was given to us as these, so for us to chase our tails, and so these beings can rule as gods over us, right? Giving us some powerful names and some powerful things, but misdirecting us with what the true knowledge is about it, so we can basically chase our tails and not progress spiritually and create abominations. Because when something is powerful and you misuse it, it creates an abomination, a powerful abomination, right? So a lot of the bloodlines in the past that a lot of us are related to, are using rituals that were given to us by false gods, that they were never gods to begin with. They were never.
You're right. What kind of rituals, just out of curiosity? Like, what would you describe as that?
For instance, the reason why I inherited some of the traits that goes back in my family is I was born a certain way. I was born, they call it a Caul birth. I don't know if you know what it is. You could look it up online. It's spelled Caul, but I was born in Caul, Encaul. This is when, like, my mom's water never broke. I still came out the regular way, but still enveloped in the amniotic sac. And actually, it was in Caul birth with nuchal cord birth. Right. So I was born still in the amniotic sac with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. Right. And most babies born this way experience hypersensitivity to sound, vibrations, touch, experience very lucid dreams. There's something
I was born with the cord wrapped around my neck too.
Yeah, but you weren't in a Caul birth though, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. I hope. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very rare. It's
like almost.
I would say about every 6 or 7 in a million babies are born that way. It's about
like I crapped my own sack or something when I was being born. My brother, same thing, and had the neck. I guess my mom, some wacky thing like that. But both me and my brother.
Yeah, there's something that transpired. I mean, in ancient times. So what I mean by some of the rituals that they do, babies born this way are used in rituals. So many times, midwives would tell shamanic cults, if you want to say, about babies being born this way. And they would raise these babies as seers and use them in certain star magic rituals. And I'll get into what type of rituals in a second.
Do you think that So okay, I could see like giving birth back then, and like, oh, this is like of some kind of significance, right? Because death and birth are a huge deal anyway in modern time. But
Yeah.
back then, you're like, these are
Well,
like
what they noticed though, the babies being born this way have certain characteristics, right?
so the babies did display that to your knowledge, and it's not that they attach significance to this, and maybe potentially that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no way, dude. This is as ancient as it goes. So the church coveted this in ancient Egypt. They would call this the net of Neith,
Okay,
being born in the net of Neith, or being born in the veil of Isis. And you see a
right.
lot of times, Isis is enveloped in a veil around her head and face and whole body,
Mm.
right? And this is giving the pure birth, the Caul birth, right?
Mhm.
And like my mother never, her water never broke. She had an appointment that day. She was having pain, and and dude, I did some hardcore research over this over the last 47 years of my life, and I realized even the birth doctor that gave that there was weird stuff about him because he was an army intelligence officer. He was good friends with Dr. Puharich, who was a well-known doctor.
Dr. Puharich?
Yep. Right. And I found out that even in modern times, babies are coveted that are born this way. Doctors are on the payroll and they get the heads up from hospitals, right? And so listen to this. Every baby, you're about to get derped with this right now. Every baby born, I don't give a hell if you're born inside the veil like I was, how they call it, or you're born just regular. Every baby at birth is given a code at the hospital when they're born. This number or code, it has their blood type. It has certain characteristics of your birth. Your parents is, all types of stuff, right? And this information is sold out from the hospital.
Yeah,
right?
I have no problem believing that.
Right?
Look,
now,
funeral home,
certain
they just busted
agencies
somebody. Remember
so
they
now
just
from
arrested
there-
people selling body parts out of the funeral?
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course, at both ends of the cycle, there's somebody going to be making a
Oh
quick
yeah.
buck.
Now that's just the start of it.
Yeah.
Now it's sold to certain agencies that use this code as sigils in star magic, right? And they
How's
use
that
it.
work?
So what in the ancient, this goes back to ancient Persia and beyond. They have the 4 royal stars, and they'll use it at certain times of the year, like the solstices and the equinoxes. And you have the Gregorian Italian mysticism, or they are the watchers, the Irin, right? They are the fallen ones. They are the ones that guard the dimensional planes. If you draw a magic circle, you're evoking them. They can smell the circle before you even take out the chalk to draw it. They're surrounding you.
What do you mean by that? Like
they come from the light. They come from the streams, from the stars, from the plasma, so to say, right? From the sun. They come from the light. You can't see them in this reality. They're an unseen substance, but they're whispering in the thoughts and minds of humanity, right? You can call them archons. You can call them in the Lhasa of Etruscan. You can call them the jinn, these beings of smokeless fire that you can't see. This is all plasma, right? These are all light beings, the light of the universe.
Plasma, smokeless fire. Right,
yeah. So you can call them. You can call them what have you.
But
wait.
So the jinn. Wait. The jinn were always made from plasma. But the Watchers were flesh and blood at one point, were they not? In the mythology or lore, however you want to call it, weren't the Watchers flesh and blood, and that's why they were mating, and then they got in some kind of trouble, and they're not allowed to do that no more?
Yeah, you have the Watchers, and the jinn would basically be like offspring of the Watchers, creations of the Watchers, right? These are all species and hierarchies within the light of the universe, within the plasma of the universe. You can look at the gods of the ancient world as the suns and stars and major plasma in the cosmos, like nebulas and galaxies and things like that. And then you can look at the children of the sun, the children of the gods, or the attendants of the gods as the structures that form within that plasma, right? Within
the attendants, is that what you just said?
Yeah, like the attendants of the gods, like the nymphs and the fairies and the children of the gods, all these attendants of the gods, right? That help them carry their orchestra of light, right? It's not people. Like Enki and Enlil, they were never people. They're cosmic they're cosmic, fundamentals and principles and laws of the universe, right? So Enki basically is the celestial abyss, the lord of the plasma waters, right? And his brother Enlil is the cosmic winds, the winds of the cosmos, and them together is what brings creation in planetary systems. Their Enki's literal name is Anki, where heaven and earth meet. It's literally the magnetosphere that builds around planetary systems for life to flourish.
And that's also or something thinking entity or
yeah, it's a plasma entity, all different hierarchies of plasma entities.
Well, here's what I'm trying to understand. Like, how is he individuated from the concept of that? So there's the concept that you just described, and then there's a guy. I'm just saying a guy, but
yeah, because a lot, like when you have people of enormous power or places of enormous power, they are named after the celestial counterpart. Like, you know, you have a person of power, they want to be named after a sun or after the cosmic winds or something like this, right? Or if you have a great body of water, like the Nile's named after the Eridanus River constellation, right? It's named after its celestial counterpart, right? So when you have a great mountaintop, it's named after the magnetic mountain in the magnetosphere, like Olympus, right? That's the magnetic mountain. And bro, this is all from my work, right? I've uncovered some of this that you can't find anywhere else. Some people have stolen some of my work and reusing it, but this is all stuff that it's took me 30 years to uncover.
Well, it's weird because I haven't heard this before, but I've heard stuff that kind of ties into what you're saying, where it kind of like pings off of that, which is kind of
I'm even like more qualified to talk about the mythology part than Anthony Perrott. Anthony Perrott is a plasma physicist, right? And he found the Squatter Man petroglyph that has to do with a lot of his plasma experiments. Right?
So that I've only heard of that a long time ago from what was the guy's name? Armored Skeptic, I want to say. This is a while ago. He had a video about that, with that squatting man being the Aurora Boreal, like, you know.
Yeah, dude, that's everything. That's even in the. See, I brought some visuals for you guys today too, so you guys can see. So even in, let's see. Did I bring the Shiva? So you guys can even pull it up, probably the Nataraj of Shiva. So it's outside of CERN. You see how, you know, when CERN's balancing on one leg?
Yeah, right. The big
that's all plasma physics. You have him the dipole stability where he's stabilizing, and he has the magnetic field lines coming out from his head and a ring of auroras, and they're introducing plasma into magnetic fields, and they have all the aurora emanations around the ring. Right, that's all plasma physics right there. It's talking about bursts of light, plasma is being introduced into a magnetic field. Yeah, and all with Shiva is plasma physics. So I'll blow your guys' mind right now with this. So you have Shiva, who has the legend of the Gangadhara story, right? According to this myth,
I assume,
right, the river Ganges, right, was a celestial river at first. A plasma river, a plasma stream, right? So the legend of the Gangadhara with Shiva says that the river Ganges was a heavenly river destined to descend to earth, right? And her force was so powerful, it was so immense that it threatened to shatter and shake our planet and strip it of its atmosphere. But Shiva, in his form as the Gangadhara, right, which means bearer of the heavenly Ganga, he catches this celestial river in his matted locks. They call it the jata, his matted hair. He catches it and controls the celestial river in his matted hair, and then he contains it within his hair, and then he later releases it in these gentle streams to nourish the earth. Now, this is the most intimate, beautiful plasma physics. You have the sun, the star, Shiva, with a massive solar event like a CME coming towards Earth. It would shake the planet and strip it of its atmosphere. But Shiva, he catches this solar storm coming at the planet in his matted hair, his jata. Now, the solar wind, the very solar wind that forms those coronal mass ejections, is the same thing that catches those storms and stretches it out as the magnetosphere. So the solar wind is what forms the shape of our magnetosphere. And they even describe it in plasma physics as taffy spreading out, just like matted hair, right? Just like matted hair. So Shiva, literally, they're talking about this thousands of years before we have this, right? In the Ramayana, they repeat the story, and in the Vedas, they repeat the story, right? They're talking about Shiva literally catching a celestial river in his hair, right, in the solar wind, and stretching it out, and then releasing it at the poles as these gentle streams, these rivers within the magnetosphere that nourish the earth with new life.
So is there anything I was watching somebody talk about something you know, what do they call it in stupid magic of assuming your god form, where you like this Shiva thing? Is it like there's some person who's also channeling this cosmic being, and that's how there would be Shiva on Earth?
Yeah, well, yeah, dude. I mean, originally, I think Shiva was a plasma entity in the ancient writings, right? And he has his trident, right? It's representing different things converging. That's the squatter man symbol right there. The trident, his trishula, they call. That's where the word trident comes from.
I thought
from
the guy was
Shiva's
going like this, and his dick was. You're telling me to try to. I really did think it was like two legs and a dick, and a guy going, "Hey," like that.
But that trident, it converges into a plasma cone, or
Right.
what they call in plasma physics a Z-pinch formation, right? It's consistent with Anthony Perrot's findings, or even petroglyphs that have plasma, you know. And there's a point on his trident that they call Kashi. It's where the city of Varanasi was named after. And right, it's the spot, the city of light, the spot on his trident. The focal.
What is Varanasi? I don't know what Varanasi is.
Kashi. Varanasi is the city in next to the Ganges in India. Varanasi.
Oh, yeah, I don't. And Kashi, right? I know.
They literally named that city. It used to be called Benares many years ago, right? It was the holy city, right? And now they called it Varanasi, but there's a nickname, Varanasi, but there's a nickname for that city called Kashi, the city of light, and that's the focal point on Shiva's trident, the Kashi point. That's the core of the plasma instability, or the city of light, where the high energy plasma discharge centers on the trident before the explosion. All of this is discussing magnetic reconnection, dude. It's and the solar connection and all that, with the celestial Ganges being the solar wind in that story, the Jata, right? All that, and his matted hair literally being the magnetosphere and all of that. And the Ganja is the solar wind plasma stream in that story, flowing from the sun towards Earth, right? And the legend talking about it's going to threat to shatter our Earth. This represents an immense, destructive, unshielded solar flare or coronal mass ejection, and then it's shielded by Shiva's hair, right? At the magnetosphere, and it's Shiva catching it in the solar wind. And then slowly deflecting it and trapping the plasma in the Van Allen belts, and then it's their solar rivers coming down. Right, it's very interesting stuff, dude, and that's just the beginning of it.
Well,
right?
as a plasma guy, that because I mean, from mythological, and I see what the connection you make. I mean, it looks, but I'm not really an expert either in things. But do you? I'm under the impression that they've like kind of kept plasma physics as a study kind of stunted instead of really going for it on purpose. This is what I'm currently think.
For sure. And they diverted off of, because originally we were going in the right direction, and then you have like literally, Kurt, you got people from plasma physics, heliophysics, and magnetospheric physics, all related topics that don't even communicate with each other with their findings.
That's what I find shocking is the amount it splits. It like atomizes all the studies, and then nobody. They all just stay in their lane, and they're trained much smarter people than me. I can't believe how much I don't respect them. Because they can't look at other things.
They're not open to things, and even when I've presented my findings, they're just weird. They get really weird, dude. I mean, I can't even explain how frustrating it is, but
yeah, I just had Dr. Heather Layton in here explaining it. But
yeah, I was on her show the other day. Yeah, I was on her show the other day. It's very interesting sync that we've had, right? But yeah, dude, they're all describing divine information about the sun in most of mythology, right? And the sun is a plasma sphere, a plasma star, and it's
hot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So what we've been taught in school is very archaic. Before we get deeper, we should get into the basics. What plasma is first. Okay. So what we're taught in schools is very archaic. We're taught it's a hydrogen gas sphere. It's actually not. It's so hot that it's a plasma sphere. Plasma. That's where the gas is heated to the point where the electrons start knocking together and strip itself away. And now this, I found, is a sentient, free, living flow.
Well,
right?
I've heard tell of this here and there, like plasmoids, and they could be in the sun. So that's not out of the realm of like normal Science Channel shit,
99.9999% of the mass of the universe is plasma, Kurt. It's everywhere. Right. It's the lifeblood of the universe. It's stringing together everything. When you see a nebula, it's millions of light years of plasma, right? And in ancient Egypt, they talk about a boat of millions of years, right? With all these solar deities and cosmic deities. That's a boat of like a nebula, a boat of plasma. And when they travel in their solar barge, you know, they're traveling in the plasma waters, right? So when
if you are going the speed of light, to you, you're not moving really at all, right? The speed of light, it's like no speed really. And then in the so is that we ever hear this fifth density shit? I've heard so many uses of fifth density as an idea, from like really dumb new agey whatever, all the way also to where I'm like, wait, what? Maybe there's something to this, but I still can't understand what the fuck they're talking about. It's not a science concept, but I'm gonna try to get that guy on, Daryl James.
Yeah. You know, we originally were going the right way with plasma. So first of all, the blood plasma was named plasma in about 1830, right? Then we had in 1875, we had Sir William Crookes discover plasma in what he called the Crookes tube, right? But at that time, he called it radiant matter. I could write a whole book on just Sir William Crookes, because then he got into like ectoplasma and got discredited and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really something how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
So Sir William Crookes, he discovers what he called radiant matter in his Crookes tube in 1879. Right. And then it was called 1879 all the way until about the 1920s.
Why radiant matter? Why would you call it radiant matter?
Because it is a glowing matter.
What do you mean it glows?
A glow. It's a light. It's like it's a light that forms. You know, it's when you see lightning, that's plasma. When you see
so your blood can glow into what?
No. This is the different plasma. Blood is the different plasma. So
right. Okay.
I'm combining. So we named this. I'll show you where I'm going here. So in 1830, the blood plasma was named plasma. Then in 1879, they discovered, Sir William Crookes discovered radiant matter. Then in like 1920, Irving Langmuir, he was a pioneer on hydrogen gas. He decided to name radiant matter plasma because he knew that it was a lifeblood substance of the universe, similar to the plasma of our body.
Oh, that's interesting. I always wonder why the hell they call it that for blood.
And we kind of went away from that.
Radiant matter really would answer more questions than calling it plasma, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He knew that it was it's the light of the universe, right? It's what forms everything. When we have thoughts, when we have prayers and hopes and dreams, that vibration collectively comes from us. And it's collected by the light of the universe, the plasma, right? It's the Akashic records. Right. And that's how
plasma's
and that's how thoughts happen, Kurt. Like that's how things get created. When you start having thoughts, particles get excited and charge up in the universe, and they start coming together and things start creating.
Yeah, well, that's why when what's his name, Nicholas, who was on Emmy's show, was saying, because he says he saw I'm not getting his whole story, but he called it Lucifer they want him to join with, and he said it was a plasma ball of inverted souls is what he was looking at, which I'd never heard anybody say anything like that ever before.
Very interesting.
So it's just stuck in my head, and that's really interesting. It is interesting.
Very interesting. You know, I've had experiences with plasma orbs my whole life. I have some on video. I'm not just talking. You could pull them up right on my YouTube right now.
I always tell one of my girl. I'm not gonna tell it again because everybody keeps.
Yeah,
I keep making a joke because she cheated. I go, you love him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. There's a delay now. Wait.
I'm sorry. But to be completely honest with you, what eventually led me.
All right. 1 sec. I'm getting like a half tick delay. Hold on.
Really?
Sec. Yeah. Wait. What is happening? I don't know why he's doing that. All right. I don't know. I'm on a hard line. I don't know what I could do about it. But all right. I'm just gonna stop. Go.
It's funny too because I just read the Turning Point Sam Tripoli. It looks like a halfway house. But dude, remember what I told you that one time when I first, because when I wasn't familiar with you at first, like you weren't familiar with me either, and I thought when they said Kurt Metzger, I thought you were a baseball player from the 90s, dude. Literally, I was like, oh, that's the famous baseball player.
I never heard him. I heard of a wrestler, like a wrestler named Tom Metzger, and there's a rabbi and a Nazi, and it just means butcher in German.
But dude, I like what you're doing.
Trace is my Italian side name.
Yeah, no, I like what you're doing, dude. I don't listen, I don't watch much TV or podcasts because of the work and all the stuff that I'm doing. I homeschool my daughter, a lot of stuff. But I've been checking out your podcast since I've been on with Gary Wayne. It's hilarious, dude. I like what you're doing at the same time too. It's really interesting.
I'm not a good interviewer, dude. I'm just having a fucking.
I don't think it's for that.
It's really like these shows are me like talking on the phone to somebody.
Yeah, it's like you ranting about stuff, and then like, and I think, but now it's you're talking about some serious things, bro, and some very interesting.
Well, plasma thing I want to know because see, that's radiant matters. Like I can't believe that I didn't never know about that because that really explains. That clears up a lot of confusion for me as to why it would be called blood plasma and So it's only some.
My book, I literally start off the paragraph with that.
Yeah.
The book I'm writing right now, I'm about to publish a book, myself publishing it, and it's changed, dude. This book has been in the work for 10 years because I ain't using AI for it. I'm writing it myself. You know,
people write their books with AI now.
Yeah, and it's like it's taken me a while to be able to explain complicated things in a very simple to understand way.
I understood what you're saying. That was helpful. Well, so there's a guy.
But the reason why, what I wanted to tell you though, the reason why I eventually got into plasma physics though, and that side of it was because I had a near-death experience when in 1988, I was 10 years old, and they had to operate on me to save my life. And what I experienced during that near-death experience eventually led me into plasma physics. So
weird.
Yeah. So I can explain the experience to you, though. I was as you know, I'm from a hardcore family. Like, you know, like they're very rough and Italian. So like as a kid, I had an older brother, 12 years older than me, right? So like how
many kids?
You know, I had to get out a lot of aggression, right? Like,
wait, how many of you were there?
3.
Okay, good.
Right, and I'm the youngest, and my older brother and sister are 10 and 12 years older than me. So like I had an older brother that can literally hold me down and I was at his mercy. So at a young age, I didn't want to have any man be able to hold me down and me be at his mercy ever again. So I got into martial arts and wrestling, and even I'm a musician, so I got into a lot of things. I was very hyperactive as a young age, and I was pretty gifted at soccer at a young age. So I was playing high-level soccer at 10 years old. They call it travel soccer here in New York, and we played all year round, bro, even in indoor soccer in the winter, right? So we were playing against these Irish immigrants, this Thistle, they were called, this town Thistle. And they had like 5 or 6 Irish immigrants on this team, and they were really scrappy and tough kids. And even though we played year round, like a lot of us played other sports, these kids only focused on soccer, and they were like really scrappy, right? And so I was the roughest kid, ironically, on my team. Like the kid always slide tackling people and being real. I was the sweeper, right? So I was going head to head with this kid during the whole game. And then it came to a point where he was about to shoot on the net, and I jumped in front of him, kicking with all his might, and he cracked my cup protector between my legs. He kicked me so hard.
Whoa. Don't tell me your NDE was from getting kicked in the nuts during a soccer kick. Is that what you're telling me?
Dude,
that is
cracked my cup, right? I was almost unconscious on the ground. My the ambulance was taking too long. My parents threw me in the car. We were on the way to the hospital. I'm telling my father, Dad, you know what it's like to get hit in the nuts? I'll be fine in 20 minutes. I'm not taking my pants down at the fucking hospital. No way. And my dad's looking at my mom. Hey, Jenna, I think he's going to be all right. It's fine. He'll be all right. So we go home, right? I didn't know it had cracked my cup, bro. I didn't know that it had spun around each other. And there was
You got torsion?
There was a black tissue forming in my left testicle, God. Right? And so I fall asleep when I get home, dude. Right? I got derped. I got derped in the nuts, bro. Hard.
Right? Yeah.
And so I wake up the next, that was Sunday, right? That was Sunday. So Monday morning comes, and this was early, this school had just started. It was, when this happened, it was like October, and the fucking ball was wet, and it was cold out. Like it was brutal, right?
Okay.
So I go, the next Monday morning comes, and my mom's like, you're going to school. Cause I was like, something's wrong. I don't feel right. She makes me get on the bus. Kurt, I don't remember that day at all. I don't even remember going to school. They told me I was walking to class, that I actually got off the bus. This is how hardcore I am, bro. Because like, I grew up with an older, there's nothing a bully or a teacher can do or say to me that my mother hadn't already done, or my brother. Right? I grew up with like toughing shit out, dude. Right? So like, I didn't want to do. So I was walking to class, they say, and I blacked out. Right. The next thing I remember is about 10 seconds before I woke up on the operating table. So I remember hovering over my body, looking at myself and I had my arms out and my legs out the same
Right.
way my body was on the operating
You're like,
table.
well, that guy fucked my balls right up.
And I'm looking at myself on the operating table, dude, like an out of body experience, I guess you can call it, right?
Okay.
And I'm looking down at myself, dude, and it was like I was giving birth. They had my arms out in the machines, and they had people between my legs. And I made like this conscious decision. I don't know if I said it out loud or my soul said it, but I remember like thinking or saying, I don't know, like I don't. This looks like it's really bad and hurts. I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just kill me if that.
Exactly.
My balls
Just kill me, dude. I'm gonna lose my nuts. Everything.
360 my nuts with one socket kick.
I was like, bro, I'm gonna because I was like, I'm gonna lose my balls, everything, thinking, right? That kind of shit. Just kill me. Right. I made that decision. As soon as I made that decision, all sides of me was this warmth, immense light, dude. And it catapulted me like Google Earth. I have dreams where I'm flying, where it's like Google Earth, you're rising up and then you're moving fast. It was like that, dude. I shot up like a rocket, like Google Earth. And I was leaving friggin' Earth with my body. And I never left that position with my arms and legs out. Never left that position. Right. I never left that position. It was just always that, like that, the whole experience that I remember.
So wait, if you became wait. So if you became a ghost, would you be seen like,
dude? I became like a psychonaut from getting kicked in the nuts. That experience, like it was like I was.
You listen. You don't have to do drugs to get high, guys.
Dude,
you just get a good one,
dude. Right?
Play soccer a little.
Get a good shot in the old friggin'
enthusiastic.
Yeah. So, dude. So I went straight up, right, and I guess I was leaving our magnetosphere now as I going into our magnetosphere as I see it now. It took me years to uncover this, dude, because I used to explain the experience different, like I was like in some kind of waters or something. So let me tell you first.
So now because you know plasma, you can describe it, is what you're saying.
It took me 30 something years to uncover it, dude. And if you go back 10 years ago, I was
the thing my girl saw, she said it was like water. So it looked like water, but it was being held together.
Dude, it was like, okay, let me get into it more because I'm making this sound longer than it was because it was like 10 seconds all together.
I mean, the kid kicked in the balls part you made that very long. I mean, that's a long story to hear anyway. I had to
give you someone tells you an operation to save your life. Well, don't you want to hear how I got on the table for?
I thought I did. Now I know I didn't. I had 3 NDEs while you told me about
now I'm gonna. Now you're making
I almost went to a break.
You're making me dance the Derp. I'm going to put my Durante nose on.
Actually, I got to run that commercial break, Mark. We're going to take one break while I go.
All right, so I can finish the. Story. Yeah.
That first of all, that's a very intense story.
my tea bag. Look, I got 2 bags.
Okay.
And we will make it a mission for our whole country to halve knife crime in a decade. And yes, this Labour government will pass Ronan's Law, a ban on ninja swords.
In my first marriage, I had 2 lovely daughters, and I had the joy in that marriage of girls. And girls are such delicious, sweet-smelling, wonderful things. I can still remember when they would be so clean and their hair done, their starched dresses, and how when they would bend over, the dresses would come up, and you'd see the panties and.
Oh my God, that was even more brutal. That was Gene Roddenberry talking about Jay from Project Unity told me about it, and then I found it. It's as creepy as he said it was. You the Star Trek guy? Wait, is my thing off? Can you hear me? All right. Hello? Yo, Mark, what's up with his thing? Is it not working? You hear me?
I hear you, Kurt.
Oh, all right. Well,
I have no idea why Ra.
I'm here.
Oh, I don't know if you can hear me, dude.
Can you hear
I don't
me
see
now?
anybody yet.
You can't see anyone?
Bro, I'm here. I just don't see you yet.
Well, that's weird. I have no idea what that could be. What a strange break. It was, but you can hear me.
Ra, why don't you leave the stream and come back in?
Did I drop out and come back in?
Yeah, drop out and come back in. And then I'll have Mark, my Nephilim assistant, Petusia, the box until he comes back. Hey, Mark, you just jump in until he comes back in. Oh, that guy's ball. Dude, that's one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. It's for soccer. It's not like, the vets that got. Let's see. Does it work?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you see everything?
I don't see Mark or Kurt.
There's got to be something with your computer, dude, because we all see
I see
you.
myself. That's it.
You have any idea, Mark?
No, I've never had that app. StreamYard's notoriously buggy. Ra, are you on? You're just on StreamYard and you can see yourself. You can't see us.
Bro, right? I can't hear you guys or anything.
What?
Or
what is happening?
All right.
We'll have to have him come in and figure it out because I got to know the rest of this goddamn story. I'm this close to my plasma knowledge I needed. God damn it, Mark. Do you know about this? Mark,
about his out of body experience or plasma?
No, well, not his personal getting kicked in the balls so hard you see God. Do you know anything about that?
Nothing more than we just learned. I know something.
I went to another dimension from pain. Oh, that's the worst. Dude, I listen to them stories a lot, dude. You know, when I was in where the hell was I? A guy comes in the dressing room at this one place I was playing recently. I remember what town I was in. So, I mean, he wasn't anything dangerous, but he just walked into the green room. I mean, whatever. But he was harmless. He told me he had a near-death experience. And I go, all right, well, what'd you see? Because I was on edge, but I am curious, And he goes, he tells me he saw an Egyptian, it begins with a T, some Egyptian god. And then I go, what'd he say to you? And he goes, this is what he said he heard in his near-death experience. Do you accept all the charges for this patient's surgery? He said that's what and I go, dude, I think I know what was happening. And he was in a coma. So I'm like, you heard them talking about your bill. Like, it's so obvious what happened. I think he doesn't think that though. But when he told me what the mystic knowledge was, and they go, do you accept all the charges for this surgery? I'm like, were they arguing about pulling the plug? Somebody probably said, don't pull the plug, is what happened.
Right.
All right.
Subconscious mind.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. It was ironic too, because dude, I live in the moment. I'm sorry if I was like going crazy and showing you things, but I live in the
so
moment.
do I. That's why we had to take a quick break and hear Gene Roddenberry's horrible things to say about little girls. Gene Roddenberry, isn't that gross?
It was, yes.
Star Trek's got full of devil ass shit, dude. Star Trek is loaded with occultists and nonsense. The stupid nine. You know where
Deep Space Nine that whole idea came from? So Dr. Puharich in what town was that?
That X-Men town?
Westchester County here.
Yeah, the X-Men town.
I forget what town he lived in. It's in Westchester County right here. He had an estate there in the 70s, and he had Lab 9 Studios. And the guy who created Deep Space Nine used to attend his channelings there because he had these copper Faraday cages.
That's why the 9 thing comes up all the time.
Yeah. They wrote a book. There are several books. There's one that was hard to get.
Have you heard this yet, RA? My guest Mark Windows, who has a great thing about it, he found this book, Dissipation of the Darkness, about the supposed true origin of Freemasonry, and it's Herod Agrippa, the one that died from worms eating him. Him and his 8 friends formed a secret group called the 9.
Oh, yeah?
And Hiram Abiff is actually Hiram Abul, his friend. Yeah, dude. The 9. I think those assholes, because Agrippa, I found out from Nathaniel Gillis, aka Smart Chain, that Agrippa was into sigil magic. He was big into sigil magic.
Yeah, I've heard the name Agrippa.
Yeah, so yeah, Herod Agrippa is the like grandson of the one that killed all. I think the grandson, not the son, but it might be the son of who's the one that who killed all the babies because they had mapped out the stars that somebody's coming that was going to unseat him,
Yeah.
and they're doing Babylonian magic, right?
Dude, that's all the Persian, what I was talking about before with the code of the baby used in sigils. That's all what they use. They use the
yes, right.
Persian star magic. So listen, they have the 4 royal stars, right? The 4 royal stars are at each end of the ritual circle, and these are the watchers of the north, the watcher of the west, the south, and the east. You have Regulus, Fomalhaut, Aldebaran, and Antares.
Did you say Aldebaran?
Aldebaran. These are the 4 royal stars, right?
That's where the Nazis flew to after the war. That's what they say.
These are the watchers of the south, north, east, and west, and they're invoked on the solstice and equinox during the ritual circles. And they do what's called the rites of calling. You would take a certain posture in the circle and you call out to the star, the stream of light coming, and you do your intention with whatever sigils and whatever's going on.
Oh my God. That's what that General Flynn creep at that stupid Reawaken America thing was calling to different points of light. That's what he was doing.
That's the rites of calling. So you need someone like me, bro, to drop the hammer.
That motherfucker, I got to find a clip of it. Magical Mystery Church is the channel. I don't know the lady's name.
Most people won't tell you what it's really about and what they're really doing.
Like, what are these streams? Well, I've heard. I'm been asking Gigi Young to come on because she talks about it too. But
dude, it's like low-level dirty dick magic.
Yeah, I know. But I'm understanding better the transmission aspect of it, which I didn't fully. I didn't really get it. But okay, go ahead. Finish
So should I finish the story?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're in the NDE. Yeah.
So yeah, I skyrocketed literally like Google Earth straight up. And as I was, I guess, leaving Earth, I guess you could call it like a magnetic duplicate of myself. Cause it was like a me hovering over me, like an
why magnetic,
cause it's like, we have like a like a light body, right? It's so like
that's what that is, the etheric body.
I would say it's almost like a magnetic duplicate of us that is a light body. And I think after we die, it exists for a short period of time. And then you have to go back to your essence. We'll go back to that in a minute. So when I was skyrocketing, and I think my soul or my light body, however you want to describe it, was leaving Earth and going into the magnetosphere. And I heard at that spot, it was like a green. It was like a sea of green. Like I saw just green everywhere. And it was like whale song and bird song that I heard. Like, and then in front of me was this mirage of water. Like you never see like a mirage on a hot summer day, like see through. It was like that, but it was tubular and shimmering. And it was tubular and the same size of my body. And I was in this shape and I went right into it. And as I was in it, dude, it was so alive. It was so vivid. It was so more real than this reality can ever feel. It was felt like my soul, every fiber of my existence was being bro. I've been having blinking recollections of this moment since all these years, and it's been the catalyst of all my research. Why I even when I go in the bathroom, I'm bringing books in with me, and when I went to the shower, the water's getting hot. I'm waiting for the water to heat up. I'm just in that little time. I'm studying. It's always reading and trying to figure things out. Right. So I was inside of this, and it was like I wasn't wet or anything, but it was like a watery substance that I was inside, and it was like my soul. Every fiber of who I am was being analyzed and weighed and maybe even judged. And I had to level I was like in this shit. I was leveling myself out inside of it. Like, I guess intuitively, like I was the friggin' bubble in a carpenter's level. And I was laying just like this. I was like, I had to level myself out in this substance. And I felt like everything was being weighed. And dude, it was like all the knowledge of the universe was in there, but I couldn't touch any of it. It was like alive with information in there. Right. And it was so serene and so amazing and so alive. Right. And then when I finally leveled myself out perfectly in it, it was like only a couple of seconds. I'm making this sound long. Right. I leveled myself out in it and I woke up in the operating table in that very same position. Right. And I was trying to tell them what I just saw. And they were like, listen, you were unconscious. We had to operate on you.
Hey, listen, we just untied your balls. So
you just untied your magnetic reconnection.
Pal.
The knot of ISIS just got untied.
Right, yeah. They had to cut open the veil to untie the knot of ISIS. But I know what you mean about the judged and balanced thing. And of course, your own mind's going to add to a thing that's already there. You know, when I was talking to Lynn Buchanan, who's the famous remote viewer, Sean Patrick Hazlitt, you should talk to that dude. He'd love to hear this shit. But he introduced me to Lynn Buchanan. I was like, I don't understand remote viewing versus astral projecting. Like, I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just like astral project? Because now you can't use that because there's too much of your own projecting onto stuff, and you don't get good reads from astral projection.
Yeah,
you get it from remote viewing, which is like, I would never think that would be a difference, you know?
Yeah, and unfortunately, people have the wrong idea of what remote viewing is nowadays. Like, they'll be like, Kurt, I'll literally see somebody say, I saw it on Facebook. I just remote viewed 3-Eye Atlas. Well, that's not remote viewing. If you know the target, what the hell are you talking about? Right? So you can't remote view and know what
you can't have any outside. Dude, last night I watched The Wonderful Henry Sugar on Netflix. I fell asleep during it because it was so what's his name? You know, the guy from Rushmore, that director. It was so Wes Andersoned up. It was like it made me go to sleep like a kid hearing a bedtime story. But what it was about was a scumbag English rich guy gambler who happens to find this book. I can't remember the name of the guy in the book. It's by Roald Dahl, that Charlie and Chocolate Factory spy for MI6.
Yes.
It's all about how this scumbag gambler, I think he's talking about Gurdjieff or something, but he's made a fictionalized version, and this Indian guy who can see without sight. And so he reads this book and he thinks it's fascinating, and he practices for like 2 years so he can see through playing cards to gamble.
Oh, wow.
But one of the main things, so he gets the candle and then he's got a blank. He's got to make his mind still, and he's got to have everything outside of it. So there's none of the, you know, there's so much stuff going in all the time, right? And then clear your mind. And what it felt like they're describing is just plug it into the.
See, do you have any telepathic stuff going on at all? Ever?
Just from time to time, but I don't think I'm particularly special compared to stuff. Lots of people.
See, I've had it from when I'm a kid, and it's a blessing and a curse. And what I can describe it as, you know how like when you close your eyes and there's a blackness, but there's like an overlay of the light that comes in, the reddish overlay. Mm-hmm. So if you just focus on that and let everything else disappear and silence your mind, sometimes, with me at least, I'll start seeing a holographic outline of faces, of electric fire symbols, mm-hmm. And sometimes it's, at first it's like they're playing charades. You see expressions on people's faces and they're talking, but you don't hear anything. You could and as it gets more clarity, there's a knowing that comes with their expressions and looking in the center of their eyes and seeing certain images. And sometimes you'll get like when I first started talking to you, I started getting like certain flashes. I think that's related to who you are. Like, did you have a certain change in your life? Like when you were 28?
Yes, I don't remember what
you probably did your career even start then?
No, well,
like your first.
I mean, you could pick a year of my life, and there was probably an upheaval. So definitely,
like somebody with a November 15th or 25th birthday.
What is that? What's this? By the way, I don't believe in astrology because I'm a Gemini and we're skeptical. But okay, no,
this is not astrology, really.
I know, I'm being stupid. What is that though? The sign of that November.
Well, what I do believe in I don't do astrology, but what I do agree with in certain points of astrology is that from the time we're born, there's a certain alignment that happens with the sun and other stars, right? And the energy that's from when we're born, as the sun rises through your life and goes through your sort of chart, as they call it in astrology. There's certain personalities and things that come to you that's sort of like baked in the cake because of when you were born and the signature of the universe. I
think you're right, dude, because I heard of one Joseph P. Farrell, who I think is like I love his stuff, man. But he was
that snapshot of when you're born, you know.
Well, I know these creeps at the tippity top are making war upon each other using these dates.
Yeah.
So that's Casper Hauser, the guy that was a prince that kept him under the stairs like Harry Potter. And then he's come in Denmark and there's a statue to him. And my buddy Gino's brother is the Wi-Files host, Gino's the fish. And they're like, well, was he really royalty? Nobody knows. Well, they built a statue to him. So yeah, I'm gonna say he was.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. They said 3 3 Persians to come kill him, right? Because someone plotted
Oh
out
my
the
God.
stars. So what Farrell said, which I think is such an interesting thing, is like, I'm not talking about the stupid crap in the newspaper or some dumb hippie girl, you know. If these people have thousands of years of this and they're talking in plasma things, that becomes a statistical science. You got thousands of years to see what happens over long enough time. And since now you're making it come together for me how that transmission thing works, because everything's channeling. I remember hearing about what channeling, and I was saying to my friend Rick Overton, that's the Overton window I'm in now, not the regular one, the Rick Overton window.
Dude, you can look at it this way: the light of the universe, what's pulsating and streaming from the stars, especially our star, the sun, right? The light of the universe that we're receiving it's connected to the spinal current of humanity. Literally, we're like walking antennas. It's connected right to our spine, and that information, that light, it goes right through our energetic bodies. It goes to the base of our spine. And it spirals up our spine until it hits the back of our brainstem, and it floods our mind with knowledge from the ancestral realms, likes and things that you like, your personality, certain things and certain information, certain traits.
I know that for a fact, dude. Look, what see what you really think psychic, like, because my girl show has such a weird amount of that, and she is, you know, for somebody that's probably way more experiences than I do, like that, and hers are wild. And she told them to me so casually, where I'm like, "What did you just say?" But I notice, especially with jokes, and that was a thing from the MK Monarch. What they look for people is that you synthesize seemingly unrelated events. That's how I make jokes.
That's where it comes from, brother.
Any comedian I know who had a joke I liked, to this day, I'll think of a joke, and they weren't like, it's like they were prophecies. Like, I feel like they foretold the future. It's just like you notice something off, like that. Did you ever notice? You are noticing something. You are, and because they're noticing it, they're pointing out. Like,
dude, it's psychic. Yeah, the best comedians are the one that taps into things about other people and themselves, and don't even and they're coming right off the cuff sometimes, and it's that spur of the moment.
Looks like you're a TV psychic doing it. It looks like you're psychic. So when I said, as a joke in DC, now I'm just throwing the probabilities together too when I did this, but I go, I guess you guys had why don't you draft? I was like a hard day's work, blacking out, redacting Epstein files, and like a few people laughed way too hard, and because they had been.
Yeah.
So, but after a while, but you see, it's definitely an instinct thing, because I'm such an idiot of how I went through life.
Like, you go with your instinct and just put it out where it's usually right. You know, that's
the thing. I have such an impulse thing that it's not that any kind of special power. I think it's literally a kind of derping, because what happens is I don't take the time to let the programming that society has done to me, like, stop what I'm going to do. So you're getting a very pure thing. Okay. I don't think that it's like a special power. I think everybody has some degree, but you get trained not to have it.
Yeah, but it's shown me things. It's shown me like the certain devices that I make out of copper and stuff. Like, it's shown me like certain things that.
Why is copper such a big deal with this shit?
So the reason why I use copper, especially from all the EMF problems that we have nowadays, like we're getting bombarded by all the Wi-Fi, and we need some sort of protection to keep us out of the fog, right? So most people use crystals and things like that as like, you know, shiny little minerals, but I use them as technology, right? So they're piezoelectric material, quartz and all that.
Yeah, piezoelectric is that's what you do. It's really funny because crystals do have a science thing, but they always use a new age crap, and then copper is the one that's
the crystal, right? This is 2 pieces of just raw crystal.
Yeah,
right. You'll see when I. Can you see the sparks generating?
No, you got to hold your hand up because your name's blocking it on the screen.
Wait.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, so that's that's literally electric current that's generating. So if you take quartz and you rub it or squeeze it or compress it, it generates an electric current. Now, when you generate an electric current, you could put thoughts into it. You can put harmonic frequencies into it.
How do you do that? You literally just say it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, you put your intention right into it. The electric current, like it's generating light. You put your intention in the light, right? And it broadcasts.
So you're saying it's like a big hard drive, though. Like, I mean, I kind of do think that 100% because of think of how the effort they go to spy on you now with full spectrum dominance, they call it, which would be spectrums of light.
I twist the copper. Now I use the royal cubit measurement from ancient Egypt, right?
Why?
And when you twist it, because there's something powerful that comes from that specific length, right? And that specific length, when you twist it clockwise, it's like wringing out a dirty sponge. All the old electrons, you're wringing them out in the twist. And that twist is creating also an explosion of fresh electrons that's coming from, because a normal piece of copper, you have a positive and negative pole, positive and negative, right? But when you twist the copper clockwise, it literally is an explosion of fresh electrons, right? And then if you
this
make
is a dumb question, but do you think when you suffered from torsion, do you think you clockwise twisted your balls or counterclockwise?
That's
And I know that's half a joke, but I'm asking for real. Do you think there's something to that? Because torsion
that is hilarious. It always goes back to the nuts.
You ever hear of torsion physics?
Know what I'd say?
I don't mean about ball injuries. I mean like the actual thing, torsion physics, which they do with those with CERN supposedly. Yeah, what is it? So explain it to me.
Or toroidal? You mean toroidal movement of?
I heard when I watch Dark Journalists and I see him talking to Joe Farrell and they're talking about CERN and remember there's somewhere it could affect the magnetosphere with CERN and he said something about there's another ring on top of it and he said I think it's some kind of torsion physics. You're like one's going one way, the other's going the other way.
Yeah. That completely happens, right? You have all of that going. Even in Jupiter, right? They have a huge plasma torus around Jupiter. Jupiter, that's the Jovian.
That debris is plasma,
huh?
Oh, so the ring. Wait, Jupiter has rings, right?
Jupiter has around the magnetosphere has what's called a plasma torus as well, right? Yeah, the rings are plasma. Even in Saturn, those rings are plasma-related rings. Right?
Wait, explain that because I know they're debris, but what do you mean plasma-related rings?
It's debris with plasma, and that's the light that you see is plasma.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So same thing with the Jovian magnetosphere of Jupiter, right? That's one of the largest structures in our solar system is the magnetosphere of Jupiter, right? So, in contrast to our magnetosphere gets the plasma from our solar wind primarily, right? The solar wind from the sun is primarily where our magnetosphere is a whirling vortex of plasma. It's literally the duat of ancient Egypt, the many compartments of Gehenna in Hebrew. It's the heaven and hell around Earth. It's a whirling vortex that connects to the sun and other stars, right? It's literally a stargate of light. Right. And this is a region that you have to go to in the afterlife. And it's discussed. So all
that Egyptian story shit is about that.
Yeah, dude. When they're when a lot of it is a coronal mass ejection entering into the magnetosphere, and then some of it snaps back into the sun. Right. And they're literally guiding the pharaoh after death, his light body, to a region in the magnetosphere so he can ride the solar barge and snap back into the sun. So
that's what Gary Wayne was talking about, where certain people's afterlives that are polytheists. So let's say the one they'd say about the Vikings, where they go and they fight and chop each other up all day, and then they go eat and drink at night in their thing. And Gary seems to suggest, it's probably where they do go. They're under that jurisdiction. So that's like, and to me, it's like that sounds like it would be like hell.
Dude, they're discussing the cosmic struggle between the sun and the magnetosphere in almost all the stories that you see, like Archangel Michael versus the dragon, Indra versus Vitra, Ra versus Apophis. You have Bel versus the dragon. You have Anath versus Mot when they rescue Baal. Right, all of this, right? So. Yeah, dude, it's incredible information. And originally it had to do with divine information about the universal laws and structures of the universe. And then it got degraded because things got transported into mythology, where they give it, veiled within allegories and metaphors is some of the most incredible universal laws and structures and things like this. But they got transformed into stories.
That part I understand because I'm bad at math, dude. So I would never be able to understand it unless someone put it in some analogy, story, metaphor form for me.
Exactly. Like even with Baal and all of them, they weren't people. They're like, so.
Wait, didn't they start out as people like how the Phoenicians talk about? So you got, because all these demigods, all of them, they all just sound like jerk off celebrities is what they sound like.
Yeah, well, they're most likely it's fallen angels that are acting as gods. So basically, do you know what Ugaritic is?
The Ugaritic text, the one.
Ugaritic writing. It's very similar to a Hebrew, right? So
How,
a
when's
lot of
it from though? How like and it's from where? Sumer?
like northern Syria,
Oh,
those
okay.
areas, right? Like you have from the 14th century BC, right? So and in Ugaritic mythology, we have preserved numerous tablets actually. You know, and in fact, bro, you won't realize this, but since I've been working with Gary Wayne since 2015, over 10 years now, especially for his second book, a lot of the, not a lot, but some of the books that he uses for his translations as references, he got through me. Like you know, I've been
It's good. Look, I love his work, and it's great that you work with him because one, I buy that guy 100% as a genuine Christian, and I'm real skeptical if someone says they're a Christian, and unlike myself, who's not a Christian, that's a humble
Well, I
guy.
consider myself a man of God, but I don't follow organized religion, and I never.
Well,
And I'm
I
not
don't take him as that either. I just take it as he believes he's a Christian. I think it's a behavior more than anything. To me, it's a behavior. Although
Yeah.
I guess the belief part could be part of it because of what you're saying about this plasma thing, the amount of effect you could have on this. Was there a plasma sphere? Is that what the eighth sphere is? Steiner's talking about the thing around the Earth that's holding them
That's
things in.
interesting. Well, we got to get into stuff, dude. We could do a show every day and have never-ending topics. I'm serious. So, first, we got to do a show on Steiner sometime, definitely.
Yeah, I'm curious about it because it's very hard to listen to and dull. But then I'll pick up what I like about him is there's like this backstage gossip shit. Like, you know, if we were talking shit about comedy that I've been in for a long time, there's interesting stories every comic can tell you that it's backstage gossip. And Steiner starts doing backstage New Ager gossip. So he brings up shit about Madame Blavatsky and about and I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, he comes right out of the Theosophy movement, you know. But so you know, but he talks about especially the year 1879. That was a major event where fallen angels were another incursion type thing.
Is it okay? Why? Okay, wait. Because Jehovah's Witnesses that I was in, I'm pretty sure Charles Russell said it was some kind of I got to go and look at. I'm going to go and look.
I attended some stories from Jehovah's Witness study groups. You know, they gave me the
one of the false starts of Armageddon.
Yeah,
I could swear was in 1870 something when you're saying for Jehovah's Witnesses. And I know that guy was from a left-hand path Rosicrucian family, and they like to go and flit around in wherever you went when your balls got kicked. They do that every other day, I guess. And I'll bet you when you said that, I bet you that guy was seeing something. And that's what he was claiming when he made his prophecy. It didn't come to pass. So there was some kind of incursion, though, I bet.
Well, let me finish with the Ugaritic for a second. So they're not people to begin with. They're how they're cosmic forces that come together to bring creation. So the two main gods are El and Asherah, right? You have El, the supreme god of the universe, and you have Asherah, who's the lady of the waters, right? Who's literally telling you the lady of the plasma waters, because you have the reason why the waters, you can look at the plasma of the universe as waters and winds, right? And various aspects, right? Because you have the cosmic winds, which is all plasma, and they stream like water, right? So you have the sun, who in all directions, all of its emanations is streams of plasma. And those streams of plasma are like rivers. And all those rivers coming from every sun and star form a confluence of one big celestial ocean. And that celestial ocean is talked about in all mythologies, all Bibles, all whether you're paying the Grim Reaper to cross the river Styx, or you're Pharaoh Unis, who's traveling into the horizon in the cosmic waters during the pyramid texts, or your Carl Jung during his near-death experience, or even mine in 1988.
Did he have a near-death experience?
Yes, he describes it very vividly, and it's not too far off from mine. And even the Black Elk of the Sioux tribe had a very interesting experience that's very similar. You know,
no shit.
Yeah, the shaman.
Wait, Black Elk speaks. The guy that teaches.
Yes,
that guy.
Yes. So Lady Asherah is the original queen of the heavens, right? She's the Lady Asherah of the sea. She's the wife of El, you know, and together they had 70 children, they call it, right? And among them are Baal, Mot, M-O-T, Mot. Don't confuse it with the Egyptian Mot. It's M-O-T, Mot. That's another god. And you have Anath, another one, the lady Anath. These are all, and there's 70 children of El and Asherah. That's 72 in all. And even that number 72, it has to do with like we move 1 degree every like there's like every 7 like there's it has to do with like the cycle of the sun and the universe and how everything works, right? That's 72. It's all those children come to bring creation during the solar year and all of that, right? And Lady Ashra is the lady of the plasma waters. In Persian, they call her Anahita, lady of the waters, lady of the lady, and she's Anath, she's Inanna, she's Ishtar, right? All very similar, just a little different regions. They're called different things. Right. And one of the biggest things that I was shown, dude, before we go into like some of the stuff, because I know maybe you want to hear some about my life and the Aquino and maybe some of that. I don't know if you want to hear.
I want you to finish this.
But like one of the biggest things that I was shown is a revelation about the Ankh. Right. And what the true meaning of the Ankh is.
What is it?
So the Ankh is one of the most incredible and most important solar symbols, right, of the gods. And it's very simple once you get into it, bro. The Ankh is the coronal mass ejection from the sun.
Okay.
You see this loop? That, and then the rest of it is the magnetic bottling of magnetic reconnection and the cone trumpet arms, the arm that come out. That's that you have to have all of that, the crossbar.
That sigilization of that, do you think that somebody having a near-death experience, looking at it, and then coming back, and that's all they can put?
Well, no, I think the shaman of the ancient world literally had a language. Sanskrit was literally developed originally as a language of the gods because they developed certain mantras that were developed off the primal sounds of the universe. They literally were making mantras that was aligning themselves with the music from the sun, the music of the light, right? So the sounds that the sun makes in the magnetosphere, and it's called the electron-driven chorus around our planet within the planet plasma waves. The same thing the birds start mimicking right before dawn. Right?
Is that Schumann frequency that if you're too far from Earth, it'll fuck you up? The astronauts found out there's a frequency on the Earth called the Schumann.
That's a little different. That's different, right? So we have, dude, I actually discovered this. It was my theory in 2016, and plasma physics didn't figure it out until 2025, bro.
Well, officially.
Yeah, officially. And they even said researchers have led us to look into. No, it wasn't researchers, it was my video, right? So we have an electron-driven chorus that some of the electrons that come into our magnetosphere, they make chirping sounds. And
I've heard that, yeah.
Right. And right before dawn, it's the music the sun sends for all the plants to start opening up. They call it, in the plants, they call it stomata. It's the plant cell that opens up to receive the light so that they can flourish and grow. Right. Well, that chirping, certain classical music as well, that chirping that comes from the sun, that electron-driven chorus is what helps open the stomata of the plants. That's the light.
I've been calling it stomates this entire time.
Right. So the sun sends a beautiful orchestra, a music of light that has to do, and in that light is the codes for creation, sustenance, evolution, and dissolution, all of that, right? So as the light enters into our magnetosphere, the within the plasma waves around Earth is called the electron-driven chorus. And the birds in nature, they have magnetite in their brains. They know intuitively what's going on in our magnetic field. Christ, they follow the magnetic field throughout times of the year.
Right. I mean, that's well known. That's not a crazy thing to say, even remotely.
So intuitively, they feel the music inside the magnetic field. And right before dawn, they start broadcasting those same chirps. And there's 3 main birds that's used in mythology to describe this: the woodpecker, the hoopoe bird, and the cuckoo bird. Right. Okay. And there's even the amazing mythology, which I decoded, the lore that has to do with Callanish stones. Do you know the Callanish stone circles in Scotland?
I probably have know them, and I'm thinking of a different word because you're saying it right, and I don't know how to say it. What is it?
Callanish, right? It's the. This is Callanish in Scotland.
Okay. Oh. Is that one of those dolmen? What are those dolmen or whatever they're called?
No, it's not a dolmen. They're monoliths, megaliths. The dolmen is when you have one on top that's resting on other stones, right? Like in Stonehenge is a dolmen because it has a tabletop on top.
Those are called
it's when other ones are holding up.
What you say, right? Mark?
The ones that are straight up like that are called menhirs, and the one like obelisks.
Menhirs, yeah. You have the menhirs or the cromlechs, right? Menhirs or cromlechs, and you have like, the menhirs are standing stones, right? Like in France, you have all those menhirs, right? In Karnak, right? Those are all menhirs, right? But dolmens are when you have a stone resting on top, that it's balancing up on top. You know, they have it up on top.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
So wait, where was I going with all that? I forget what I was doing now. What was the whole point of it all? Where was I going? I forgot my train of thought now.
Yeah,
So Kalanish with the story of Kalanish, right? So there's a mythology that goes along with this stone circle. Now, this stone circle is in Scotland, a place where there's auroras. So there's a place, that's a place where the magnetosphere has an opening there, right? So you're going to hear the music of the sun is coming in big time in that spot, right? So there's a lore with this stone circle that has to do with Midsummer Night. It says, on Midsummer Night, the Shining One walks up the avenue of stone, heralded by the cuckoo's call. Now, everybody tried to figure out what has this been meaning for hundreds of years. Well, I'm telling you right here, it means the electron-driven chorus of the sun, right? So you literally have the Shining One on Midsummer Night. That's the sun's rays walking up the avenue of stone, right? The light of the sun. It's heralded by the music that's what's in the magnetosphere, the cuckoo's call, right? It's incredible. It's really incredible that they tapped into that so long ago without having advanced machines that we build nowadays to detect.
Well, they had somebody advanced giving them something, didn't they?
Yep. And so the Ankh is the same thing with the knot of Isis here. This is called Tayet, right? This is magnetic reconnection. So on the sun, that's what forms a coronal mass ejection. So on the sun, you have magnetic field lines that are constantly in motion, right? And they can be, you know what convection is? Convection is when you have heat that moves through a gas or a fluid, right? A bulk of fluid or a plasma. So, right. So on the sun, you have constant.
Wait. What was that comment that just came up?
I don't know. I'm not
just said I belong in jail for my support of Trump. Why you were saying that? All right, sorry, go on.
That's hilarious.
Out of the corner of my eye.
So check this out, dude. So check this out. Thank you for paying attention too, because I know you're. I see that you're listening to me. Yo, so
no, it's fascinating, dude. This is crazy. That just came out like a coronal mass ejection of the sun.
Yo, so check this out. So on how they form is on the sun, our magnetic field lines are constantly in motion, right? They can become entangled or knotted by the convection of plasma and the differential rotation of the sun. When that happens, they twist together. They're the flame that turns every which way in the Bible, right? In the book of Genesis, right? So when that happens, these opposing magnetic field lines, they converge to knot up to form that kinetic burst of energy or that loop. Right. And that's right here what you see in the knot of Isis. They even call this the blood of Isis, the knot. This is also the Vedic Maruts. They call the Maruts the knotted ones in Rig Veda. And they come from Rudra, the howl of Rudra. Rudra is the howl of the coronal mass ejection. And he gives they're like solar stormtroopers. Solar stormtroopers, the Maruts.
This is what's blowing my mind right now. You tell me there's like great info, dude.
Yeah.
You know that because that thing I play in the beginning is my stupid sigil I made that says "as the carpet, so the drapes" to make a mockery of magic. But the thing you're describing, dude, literally as your balls, so the sun. There's a torsion that caused you to have a fucking ejection.
Figure this all out.
Like it's
ironic.
It's the same at the bottom. It is. That's amazing.
Dude, and you know what? The chapter in my book, I literally call it the magnetic reconnection of memory. Right,
yeah, dude. That's like that's a hermetic principle of. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. Dude. It's so funny, and also it really is kind of the principle, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. The knot of Isis is called Tayet. It's a reconnection event, and you see the same reconnection event. Let me get the picture out for you. Right here in Egypt. Right, they're taking opposing magnetic field lines or fiery serpents, and he's about to twist them together to form the burst of the sun. So when you see opposing serpents, these are opposing magnetic field lines that form a magnetic reconnection event, right?
So in that stupid Baphomet picture with the white snake and the black snake that I think is a Hermazra and the other one.
This right here, that Hermes, that's originally magnetic reconnection, right? To the explosion of light, the solar wind and everything, right? So it could be a duality with the DNA and stuff like that too. But Hermes is the one who steals the light of the sun. That has nothing to do with the other shit. So let me show you. Let me show you the picture of what I'm talking about. So here. So I know you like the plumed serpent. I've heard you talk about it before.
I got that from Nathan Reynolds.
right? So Viracocha here, right? You see him on the gate of the sun, right? The
Oh,
same
look at
thing as in
that.
Egypt,
Yeah.
right? He's holding opposing serpents that he's about to twist together to open up the gate of the sun, and he has these fiery emanations behind his head, right? That's the burst of light. Now the staff god Viracocha, sometimes Tunupa, he's the magnetic connector, right? He's the central deity. He's the one that's the dipole stabilization in the middle, and he's on the gate of the sun. He's the frontal figure, and he's rigidly symmetrical, and he's holding two vertical staffs, and these staffs are even described as thunderbolts or lightning, right? And they terminate in serpent or condor head sometimes. And if you relate this to plasma physics, it's the ultimate description within symbology. The deity represents our active sun, or the central dipole magnetic field of the sun. The two staffs, they represent the magnetic field lines. They're opposing magnetic polarities, and they're about to be twisted. Now, by holding these two opposing serpents, these are literally the flux ropes in magnetic physics, and he's being positioned as this central deity of power, right? And the deity acts as the reconnection X point, right? The region, and the twisting results in the release of energy, the emanations coming out from his head. Now, in the emanations coming out from his head is coming out in all directions, like the plasma streams of the sun. It's mathematically accurate. It's scientifically accurate. It's the most evocative, eloquent description you can have. And it's literally on the gate of the sun. He's opening up the doorway of the sun with the reconnection event, right? And it acts as the threshold between the magnetic environment and all of that, right? It's literally it's a vivid description of a coronal mass ejection or a solar burst, right?
Opening up the doorway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have somebody on pretty soon who because this is the first time I heard about, when you're talking about being born with the veil of Isis and all that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have a guy on pretty soon who was born on an eclipse, and his mom was born on an eclipse. So suffice to say, he was grabbed up at a young age for some weird ass shit.
Check this shit out. So I was conceived.
Why would that be important? Is my question. Why would an eclipse be so? Oh,
dude, I was conceived during an eclipse.
But why is that important?
Well, the veil is very thin on certain equinoxes, solstices.
So there's no the sun's thing ain't coming in like it should be because it's being covered.
The veil is very thin.
So if somebody could sneak in, that's a discarnate plasma nothing, and that's how you make a moonchild generally. If you do it, wait for the right, like a Hitler, you make whatever they make.
Get a redheaded girl, and you're really in there.
Why a redheaded girl?
Well, they tend to use the redheaded women for the moonchild rituals to bring the starfire out.
Is starfire their period or not their period? I'm very unclear.
In some ways, it's the menstrual blood of the woman that were consumed.
So that's why the Aztecs were extra doing that too. The Aztecs, people don't know it.
Women, like Anunnaki blood, redheaded and blonde-headed with green eyes and blue eyes,
Wait, say that again? What?
It was specific bloodlines, though, that have red hair and green eyes and blonde and blue eyes.
Why would Peru be of special? I know Amaru is from Peru, but I thought the same as Quetzalcoatl. Why would Peru, though? And I'm asking this because of being told that a lot of these people, when they, smuggle kids up through Lake Havasu, they want particularly Peru because they have like some kind of special blood. A lot of these kids, not because they're going to make them king. Yeah, they do.
Do have very special blood. Yeah.
Why?
Ancient area. Even in like ancient Bulgaria is very ancient as well. The Thracians and before the Thracians, that area, very ancient. We have ancient areas all over the planet, man. The Vedic culture. That was the Asura and Devas. They were the most diverse. That's why I hate when people think Aryan means white or white supremacy. No, Aryan is the most diverse culture on the planet. Hindus come from Aryan. Persians are Aryan. I mean,
I feel, dude. Same thing. I go. Look, this is first of all, whatever the Aryan, and not. I'm not into Atlantis and all that shit, but Atlantis is the global civilization. Poseidon is that one island, right?
You can call that Vedic.
What do we got now? Another global civilization. And global civilization is what? It's very diverse, right? Because they got to conquer everything. And these assholes want to recreate that, right?
Dude, for a comedian, you're knowledgeable, bro.
Because I'm purposely trying to be stupid. I go around trying to be stupid. You understand? So
you got to dumb down to learn. If you think you know it all, you're never going to learn, dude.
And also not trying to appear to be something I'm not is a good way to see stuff. I mean, it's something psychic. It's literally like taking, like, You ever draw? You ever able to draw or paint?
Yes, I draw. I draw,
Okay,
and
so
I
that was
draw
always
do music
the
too
thing
as
I
well.
could do.
I'm
And
a
with drawing,
Renaissance fan, dude. I'm one of those dudes that I even fought pro Muay Thai. I don't know if you know that.
Anybody can. You know, I think any human could learn to draw. When I was a little kid, my mom could draw, but I had a book called "Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain" that taught you to turn the
Oh,
picture
cool.
up and down and draw it. And what would happen is instead of symbology, which because you read and write, then now you're just looking at the lines that are there.
Very
You're not looking at a
interesting.
symbol.
Yeah.
And the principles that would allow you to do life drawing are the same
Mhm.
principles that would allow you to see all this shit. But for some reason, and I don't think that's a complex analogy I'm making, but that's why I could make a joke because I could just look at the lines and I don't assign anything to it. I'm just like, what am I looking at? So that's not an extra sensory power. That's just your basic gifts you have where you can look, but everyone is trained to create their own veils to look through.
Yeah.
Never mind whatever ones you have in nature. Everyone's trained to go, well, I'm a dedicated Zionist, or I served in the Navy and I don't believe Intel could be bad, and I love America.
Organized
And I
religion is so
can't
dangerous.
believe that. Blah, 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 blah. And everybody's got their stupid fucking thing that has to be true for them. But I don't got none of that. I just want to look at the thing and see what it is.
You got the derp.
Yeah.
You got the derp. You got Jimmy. Let's do the Jimmy Durante. Ah, cha 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 cha.
His nose always creeped the hell out of me, Jimmy Durante. I like W.C. Fields though. He had one of those gross alky noses too.
Yeah, yeah.
So those little gross gray-headed Greta Thunberg aliens, you think those are Igigis? I don't know how you say it.
Oh, the Igigis. That's straight from Sumerian. Yeah, yeah.
You think they're Igigi? And when I keep saying I think these things that
it's hard to say, dude. A lot of them are hierarchies of angelic beings, like the Erin or the Grigori and things like that. But you know, it's hard to put a name on certain things, dude. That's people and a lot of people out
themes. I like to find the theme because that's what you
a lot of people are putting on performances too. It's not truth.
Say that again.
A lot of people out there are putting on performances. It's not truth, and they're doing it for, you know, because it's a business, like disclosure business or this business.
Yeah, of course. I actively have somehow I'm actually like one of the worst for being financially successful of any of my friends. Like my stink attitude.
I can hear.
A couple episodes ago, let's see. Can't believe you put Jenna's new boyfriend in the thumbnail. Mark, my Patouche made those.
Who's that supposed to be me? Oh.
No, Mark, Patouche on a couple episodes ago. He's a little Indian boy that lives Remember you see the Little Prince? That skit thing where it's a little prince that lives alone on a planet. Well, Patouche is a little Indian boy that lives alone in a room. He's kind of the inverse of the Little Prince. He's a little Indian that lives alone in a room full of cell phones, pretending to be an AI.
I know the Little Indian song in Italian, though. I was taught that when I was a kid. The Little Indians. Uno, due, tre gattini, quattro, cinco, sei gattini.
Can you speak Italian?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so my mom's Italian, and then Italian Slovenian, and then my dad's German Russian.
Means?
Well, I'll tell you what, dude.
Stick it up your ass.
Say that again.
Stick it up your ass. Fafa un culo.
Wait. Because of Slovenian.
That's when they say afangul.
Yeah, right.
That's the dialect. They're really saying va fa un culo in Italian.
Right.
Fuck yourself or stick it up your ass.
Yeah, no, I like the patois version of so remote from actual Italians.
Yeah, well, the Sicilian dialect is way different than regular Italian. But I could speak the regular Italian, and
so how close you think Mafia is? Remember like the P2 lodge in Italy of Freemasons that was doing those. They killed the Pope at the time. How much do you think? Like it's trickled down, just the Mafia existing, where it's like not organic, and it's like some secret society beget a lower class secret society.
Yeah, I think originally it was developed from secret society, and now it's.
Well, now it's forever. They want to do mass initiations to everyone into everything, so that's why it's not as important. I mean, now keep in mind, Freemason. Like Paranoid American, it was a good episode because he really told me some interesting shit. And the dude's 32nd degree Freemason, and I couldn't give less. Paranoid American is the channel.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, and he was, was writing a whole thing on Adrenochrome, which you hear all this about and this and that.
Now, did that come from that book, dude? Because that's where the first time I heard it.
What book?
The Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
First time. Well, I didn't read the book. I saw the movie of that first. I had read Hell's Angels. First time I heard of it, and it was a hallucinogen in the movie, and I was trying to find it.
So did everybody start saying that since that movie?
Then it's a narcotic. However, 100% it's real. Everybody who tells you it's not real is a liar. But it's not what. See, like much like all disclosure, they're letting you know about some little stupid teensy weensy piece of a thing.
Yeah, and they give you one seed of truth.
And from what I understand from people I know, that that's like one of the lamest one. It's like something for losers to be addicted to. But they had out of Lake Havasu. That's why Nathan's stuff is so good. And I'll show people Nathan's stuff and I'll test them, because I'm telling you, that guy ain't lying. I'm watching him and I know he's not lying. Now, don't mean maybe he's just crazy, but he's being honest at the very least. Okay. But he said they had these little copper, and they had them for years, especially in government, gold, silver, and copper vials. They would take kids up through the border to Lake Havasu, which is a creepy ass place. There's a Madonna who's standing with like a serpent around her legs, and he says it's actually echidna. He says it's actually
Catholics do that serpent around their legs. Yeah,
that's the Lady of the Lake, and he said he could have thrown his knives
in Italian. They do that in Lake Nemi, right outside the Vatican.
Yeah, so there are people in tune with these fucking things to a degree that I don't think people. Well, I certainly don't want to believe, but I kind of do, because Gary, like the dinosaurs have feathers. I'm like, right, they have feathers. I'm starting to see something here. And I like I said, I look at everything. There's a guy named Nicholas. If you watch my friend Emma's podcast, Imagination Podcast, she has 2 interviews with Nicholas. I talked to him briefly, then I couldn't reach him ever again. Apparently he's fine. I found out way later, but I was like, oh, I hope he's okay. He told me that he that Lucifer thing, that's in that interview he talks about. Also, he talks about as a kid, because he had so much how you have a toroid around your body of which is what your body is in your soul. Actually, it's not outside of it.
Well, it's interesting. I've seen this in meditation sometimes. Actually, we have little toruses spinning outside of every cell of our body, and they seem to make up a net of one big one.
He said he saw that when I can't remember what he's going through, because they saw and they were all singing "I love God." They're going, "I love God." When
dude, the first time I saw that, I heard people cheering, "You made it! Woo! You made it!" Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, well, that was a hell of a hit you took, soldier.
Dude, it was crazy. Dude, it was like in my head.
I was in the plasma afterlife for taking a bad one. But wait, so he also said he was pulled in, and he was talking about dual. He didn't know what dual space was at the time, but you always heard the stuff about dual space. Dulce, he kept saying duals. But what he was describing was something that was half in and half out of reality, and of trying to harvest off the kids their blood. And he said the blood from the kid next to him, it's this whole gross thing, but he looks down and it was like glowing. And see, when you said plasma and radiant matter, he said he was shocked that it was glowing like that. It was like bright.
Yeah, we have biophotons. Maybe.
So there's some kind of way, and so now what I'm just hypothesizing based on goofy stories, and they may all be made up. I don't know, but I don't care. I'm just trying to put the things together. This fifth density thing that they talk about, and Daryl James is the guy who would make me even bother to think about a term like fifth density, because his story was so weird. But he said that's where you want to be to meet up with all the other things in the universe, and I can't remember where we are, and the way he described a lot of this shit that sounded so wacky makes a lot more sense with this plasma information, I have to tell you.
Yeah, and that's why I got into so much of it, so I was able to describe certain things that because seeing is believing, dude, and I saw some shit in my life.
Well, right? Dude, I did DMT a few times, and I went and I saw things where the feeling of not that you're hallucinating, but that you have stopped hallucinating is quite a feeling.
Yeah,
it's really something.
Because like I don't recommend trying to have spiritual experiences through ayahuasca or DMT, because it might give you a glimpse, but after that 10 minutes of smoking DMT or whatever, what now? What are you going to do now? Because now you
put
can't
out
get
a
back
little
there.
Indian shitty candy from the deli to that elephant head thing, and I regret doing it. But
no, but you know what I mean. Now they can't get back to that glimpse without smoking a substance or taking the.
I have no desire to. And I've done every drug, dude. And this has been a 4 o'clock podcast. I want to make that clear. But that stuff is not like an intoxicant. I don't think that's an intox. I mean, it didn't come off that way to me. It came off as pretty profound.
Yeah.
The times I did it, and somebody doing it like that. I mean, my friend Shane Moss is a comic who was like, he don't want to be known as the DMT guy. No, he told me personally, but that guy did it a lot, enough to the point where, I mean, talk about. I always love this dude. He was always like a good dude, but now he has like, he's not ambitious. Like he did it too much. He's an oracle now. Like he did it too much.
For real.
And like, you got to play the game while you're in the game. You're supposed to play it. I'm not calling him a failure or nothing like that. I'm just saying I could see how it had changed him.
Yeah.
Where once you realize how bullshit this all is to like that profound a degree over and over and over again, how are you going to be able to just treat it,
navigate this reality? Yeah. And it's hard for them to, too. It's not like, especially with ayahuasca. I did ayahuasca once. I did it in Peru on the Acre River in 2003. And I had spent some time in Brazil training MMA. I had taken some privates from the Shoot the Box camp in Curitiba. And then I found and then, dude, I ended up going out first to Thailand and then Brazil because I needed a life change. People, like, I was in a band. We were touring for a little while here on the East Coast. I was working in nightclubs and I was part of the whole music scene and stuff. And people were dying from heroin overdoses in my band and I needed a change. So I literally went and cleaned my whole body out and did a Muay Thai camp in Pattaya. And then I went to Brazil for a couple of months. This was in 2002, 2003 for like 2 months out of 2002. And at the end of 2002 into 2003. And then, I cleaned out my whole body, dude, before I did the ayahuasca because I had a brochure. We didn't have internet and stuff like that going on. I didn't have phones. So like I had a brochure and it told me like to not eat like cheeses or bad foods or all this stuff. And then not watch TV, don't jerk off, none of that. Right. And I went to 28 days or 30 days. It was like a rehab, dude. I went to a Muay Thai camp, and sweated everything out. And then I went to Brazil. And then from Brazil, I went to it's on the border of the Acre River. It's on the border of Peru, I think it is right there, the border. And it was a 3-day thing. And I never felt the need to do it after that, but it was an event, bro. I mean, it changed my life. And certain things even opened up even further that were already open on my head. And
hey, you ever hear this Kundalini psychosis?
Yeah, I think
Kundalini syndrome.
I think you can have premature Kundalini activation, if not to give too much of a word.
I know someone that happened. I know 2 people. One person was doing Reiki. He was doing Reiki, and they just popped their top chakra too early. And it freaked them out.
And then you'll be walking around like a madman, seeing shit, thinking you're having orgasms and shit like that. All types of weird shit.
They were seeing demons, and by demons, like they're looking at people's eyes and seeing what they were. And then I was telling the story to somebody else who I know who's a writer. They're like, yeah, that happened to me. Apparently they had some kind of abuse thing that they confronted somebody about, and it put them on a manic episode for 3 days where they didn't sleep just from the emotion of letting.
Yeah, bro, it could split your personality where you become like a transvestite or something weird, right? So check this out. And some people, if they have any gay tendencies, it's like going to Thailand for 6 months. If you're gonna,
wait, 38, not 28. When I was 38, that was a massive life change for me.
Oh, see, I felt that, dude. I felt there's something in 8. Maybe not 28. It's 38. You said?
Well, 28. It definitely was a big change, but it wasn't like when I was 38.
Yeah, no, I felt that, and I also there's someone that is like something that has to do with like healing this relationship. It's going to help with the dynamics of your love life or family life. A November 15th or 25th birthday. Somebody that you've been either your friend or a loved one. That I felt that strong. So I don't know. You don't have to talk about it here, but
wait, was something that happened or will happen?
No, someone that's been in your life.
Oh, I don't know.
One of your friends, someone that's either one of your friends or family members.
There's a lot of shit.
That's like
I've been around, man. There's a lot of things I could be.
It's somebody specifically that you're close to and know that has that birthday, November 15th or 25th. It's either that.
Okay.
So what was I saying? Forget where we were going now.
I want to make a note of this because I'll tell you. Well, if I find out, I will tell you.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? I think I lost my train of thought for a second.
Oh, wow, you like me, dude. Wait. There's another thing I wanted to ask.
Oh, because we're shifting different things. I forget what we were talking about for a second.
Well, let me answer some of these super chats while you figure it out because I've forgotten about them because I was getting
Oh, we'll
absorbed
just
in this
go
plasma
on.
stuff.
We'll keep going.
Xandor Vorkov said, "Oh, thanks. Kurt, have you seen Brian De Palma's Raising Cain? Yes, it's a revelation of the method of MK Monarch and DID. Quite a few movies, as it turns out, are like that, but definitely that one for sure. Oh, great honorable judge, blah blah blah. Corping on BB's. Oh, that's right. This guy swears BB's getting slimed because of the Bible code in July. Well, they're a little late. They could have slimed him earlier, but I mean, I don't want to wish anything like sliming on people. My bloodline is Aussie Yabo. I wear it. What's a Yabo again?
I don't know what a Yabo is. Yobo, maybe? Is it like an Aboriginal?
Is it an Abo? Is it a Yabo? I wear a Yabo hat. That is kind of funny, though.
Oh, we were talking about the ayahuasca, but I forget what I was gonna bring up a point about it. I forget now. Oh, too, a lot of people. That's where I was gonna go with it. And what's unfortunate, Kurt, too, it's like it's not meant for our environment and our lifestyle. So, like, you got people.
Oh, that's an interesting thing to say, dude. Yeah, that's a good point.
And you got people like from Monday through Friday, Kurt. They want to fucking jerk off, watch porno, eat junk food, watch TV, and then on Saturday they want to be an ayahuasca shaman.
Yeah, right.
It don't work out that way. It's not meant for that type of lifestyle and environment, and it can really fuck with you, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree. I think you're dead right about that. T-Cat Shovel, thanks for the t-shirt. Keep on. Oh, good. The t-shirts went out. Keep on derping the free world. This is far and away the only show that goes balls deep down the rabbit hole. Thanks, man. My friend
today for sure. We going balls
Emma,
deep.
listen, Emma, Imagination Podcaster did it. She's the one that put me on to what Monarch was about, her show. So I would recommend you. And she's had Gary on or whatever, but she's had her channel taken down. Like my shit ain't been taken down. So I'm not really taking my buddy Jason Burmis, who was right about a lot of shit. And I wouldn't have listened to him back in the day when he was right, when 9/11 happened. I try to go on his channel and boost him up. There's a bunch of people that go out. It's just, I don't give a shit because I'm a clown for a living. So I'm just doing this because I feel like doing it. I got a whole other job. And so my livelihood don't depend on lying to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, when I first saw you, you even look like a cross between Rob Reiner and Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be compared to the Natural Born Killers pedophile and also the other guy who, I mean, do you think somebody stabs their dad like that because there wasn't some issues? I don't.
Dude, Rodney was funny, though.
Ain't nobody going to rehab 18 times because they didn't get raped by their parents. There's just no one that happens to. I don't believe it. Okay, I have a whole joke about it I do on stage about how that kid's a real spoiled brat because he had a great dad that would kiss him right on the mouth, like his father before
like
him.
A psycho too. The pictures I saw of him, he had like you ever see like a girl that right away they have crazy eyes. He had the male version of.
He had the eyes of someone who had been traumatized at a very young age, is what I see. So, bottom line, I like when I go watch Rob Reiner's Tezmosis, Tezzmosis. Go watch his stuff. He has Rob Reiner's video from 1997 called I Am Your Child. And it's an instructional video about how to touch your baby. Now, he's not saying to do something bad to your baby, but why are you saying anything at all, motherfucker? Nobody knows how to hold a baby before Rob Reiner comes around? What is this? Well, I think if you got the eyes to see it, I'm with Tezmosis. I don't even know if he's saying it, but I'm going to fucking say it. I think it's made for people that are in the know to take something different out of it than another. So me, a person that with 97, I mean, I wouldn't even look at something like that. But if I didn't know about all this other shit, I would go, oh, it's just some corny thing about, make sure you hug your baby so that, because the first 3 months are the most programmable of the baby's life. See, that's the information being imparted. So if I'm a filthy, despicable MK Monarch person, and that's government sanctioned, or just a creep in a network, that's instructions on doing something to a kid to program them for good. So there's two levels, like how The Simpsons, when it was good, the smartest people and the dumbest people both liked it. Because if you have the eyes to see, there's something for everybody. And that's how I view that video. I think it's very damning personally.
Right about that, actually.
Just my opinion.
I actually agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, well, like once you start seeing this shit, you can never unsee it. Jimmy used to say it. Jimmy Boy said it.
Once you put on the glasses, you can't take them fucking off, dude.
That's exactly right. Liveth. Is there anything negative associated with C-section birth? Other than Caesar? I don't know. Do you know anything bad about a C-section birth?
Not negative, but like sometimes you do have babies being born in the Caul C-section as well. More times than the way I was born. because
do
you
you
know they're
think they do it on purpose
could
sometimes?
be, dude. Like I said, I had to do research, and I realized that even my birth doctor, his name was Jerome Levinson, right?
Mhm,
He was a friggin' Jewish army doctor who was
mhm.
also army intelligence, and then after he retires from the army intelligence, he goes into private practice delivering babies in Mount Vernon, New York,
Yeah, so he can keep
right?
yeah, right. So
Come on.
you never retire from
And
intelligence,
then,
number
dude,
one.
my mom had issues with him too. And then, like, he definitely sold that information of my birth out. And then, like, that was used. Like, I had, like, my life was guided a certain way. I think through rituals during my teen and early 20. I had to take my power back, bro. I literally had to leave New York, not tell nobody I was leaving, jump on a bus and go to California. I literally was a street musician busking on the street for 3 years of my life in my early from the time from 2001 2 years 2001 to 2000 when I went to
Jesus.
Thailand and Brazil. It was while I was living out there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. And I
Um,
escaped from everything, and I went through certain spiritual experiences out there where I had some crazy things happen, man. We can get into them. I
so
know we probably
this
won't have
guy
time
saw
today.
things that would put your nuts in a knot. All right, so for
Yeah.
more about the call birth, look into the
Yes.
Benandante.
I have information on that on my website, and if you want to get a book on that talks about the call birth and the Benandante, which is my family line, the Benandante, you can get a book by Carlo Ginzburg. That's an Italian Jew, if you ever seen one, right there. Carlo Ginzburg.
Like Andrew
Right?
Dice Clay?
Yeah, he was.
All right, did you say knight? You say knee? I didn't, but I'll say knee.
Yep, Night Battles with Carlo Ginzburg. This is Kurt. This has courtroom testimonies from the Holy Inquisition about people born in the Caul that when certain times of the year they would travel in their sleeps and have ritual battles with witches and werewolves and all sorts of things.
How much does this sound like a secret space program story of being taken out of your body at night to go fight battles in the I mean, these themes repeat, man.
Yep.
My name is Kurt Mesker, and I love BBC. You know, I have to tell you, one thing I certainly do, and one of my favorite shows was Toast of London, which was you gotta get BBC box to watch it, but Toast of London, I love that show. So yeah, I don't agree with them taxing people to watch it, but a lot of stuff I love on the BBC. I'm a big Blackadder fan. Ever notice when Demi Moore kissed that 13-year-old boy and that other girl started singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Star Wars. So my generation, they probably use Star Wars, Star Trek to control you better. But Wizard of Oz, that was Reagan's favorite, and his jelly beans were to put you in a different altar. Is that gross? All right, next one.
We were born during Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Carter.
Nikola Tesla, Winston Bostic, Ken Shoulders, blah blah blah. Plasma toroids. Is this stuff to look up? I'll look it up.
Yeah, Robert Temple freaking ripped me off, dude. I don't even want to get into it. I was naive and gave him information, and he freaking came out with a book, dude.
Oh well, I mean, it is right. Yeah.
I was so naive.
Straight out of Quickville, Rose Chew and Sonic Chew. Okay, so you know who Chris Chan is, RA?
No.
Okay, he's the most documented on the internet person who's ever existed.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not. Dude, I don't watch TV, or I'm not on.
Most people don't, but I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
When they talk about the singularity, when we merge with the technology and all that shit, I believe Chris Chan to be the singularity. He's an inverted Christ, like, you know, Jesus Christ born of a virgin. Chris Chan graped his elderly mother with they invert perfectly almost the persecutions and all that. He has followers to this day. Look, there's multiple antichrists. There was never going to be just one antichrist. There's multiple ones. Then eventually you win at the end, I guess. I don't know how the game show works, but I know he's one of them. All right, what's next? Great Derping. Have you seen the Deliberate Stranger work? I feel like I have, and I don't remember, but I'll make a note of it. What's next? Kurp, where did you fall down from J.R. Sweet, MormonMonarch.org. Go on his website. Once you mentioned Branson, Missouri. Well, I've only met him once, Yakov Smirnoff, but that he's in that town. There's nothing that these creepy ass, like weird fake Christian conservatives love more than a guy that came from the Soviet Union to tell you about how terrible it was. Their TV watch you. He was very nice. I met him.
I remember him. Yeah.
Derp cured my herp. Thanks, Kurp. Also, can we get a merch drop soon? I want a Derp hat. I'm working on it. Don't worry. It's
nice.
I'm glad people got their shirts. That means that my boy Mark was on top of things. 420 likes. Okay, cool.
Light it up.
What's next? Help my Dixie wrecked. Your Dixie wrecked. I don't know what that means, but I'll send you thoughts and days. Bros, there was a hard times that Kurp is barely able to get a warp in. Well, no, I want to know about this. I mean,
I'm
look,
sorry. Was I talking too much?
it goes how it goes. I pay no. Let me make this clear. This show's called the Derp with Kurp. So people are like, why is Kurp talking so much about? Go fuck yourselves. That's why. Because it's gonna be how I want it to
This
be.
is my
Fuck
fucking
you.
podcast.
So if someone's saying something where I'm like, oh, like that, then I'm gonna be quiet while they're saying it. I just do what I feel like doing. I have a job.
You're
I
a
got a
human.
show I'm working on down here that I sold. I got my other shit. This is my thing where I just do whatever the fuck I want. Okay, you should get
dude, and you
Professor.
notice nowadays, like people, they can't face adversity. Like if you disagree with them, they think you're their mortal enemy.
Well, I get deeply hurt by any criticism, and I plot my revenge, but I don't like to say it out loud because then people think it's petty. You should get Professor Gabe Owners on your show. Okay, I'll look into it. What else? Need some Oh, okay.
I got thick skin. I could take it.
No, R.A., I understand your balls were kicked so hard you saw God.
That's hilarious.
All right, there you go. I gave you some Misha love. You know,
Dude, that was hilarious. Holy shit.
You know that guy from New Thinking? Welcome. YouTube did not let me super chat, so you know it was good. Am I in trouble already? This plasma thing.
You look like Mr. Magoo for a second.
You never seen Jeffrey Mishlove?
Oh, Jeffrey Mishlove, yeah.
Yeah.
Like dude, he used to do those interviews. Yeah.
Let's get the rest of those chats.
Yeah.
Got some more info on Gail Pooley. Oh.
What was it? Was it New Thinking Aloud with Jeffrey Mishlove?
Yeah, send me your Pooley information. Yo, why don't you message that to me, Crusoe96? How do I get it from you? I want to know. This Gail Pooley hole. Oh my God.
I got
Jenna said the orb was blue, but black in all the right places. Can you explain? P.S. David Icke is doing the podcast rounds. I know. I would love to talk to him. Maybe I can get him. Kurt, I meant Truthspiracy. Dude, when I was writing for that Sacha Baron Cohen show, Who is America? So we had a libtard character and a Dr. Naira Kane and a reptard character, Billy Ray something. And Billy Ray, he called it the Truthbrary instead of the library. We kept
Billy Ray Fishfinger.
No, it was Billy. Oh, Billy Wayne. And it's named after a guy who's a friend of mine, Billy Wayne's comic. Mark knew it. And about Illuminati symbols and the bull guy, the Bible, cheesy but can spell. Oh, yeah, no. I meant to look that up. All right, what's next? Having another derp on the Barbie, there's any connection between plasma and our inability to perceive the third pillar Miss Twyman discussed.
Who's that? Tracy Twyman? I met her once. Tracy.
You did?
Yeah, I met her. Is she black, right?
No, she was a redhead. She was dead.
Oh, the wrong
I mean,
girl.
you might have met her though, because she did some of the best Templar research. I brought her up to you guys when you were on the show, but we didn't get into it. But Dr. Heather Lynn knew her.
Yeah, I was just on her show a couple days ago. Yeah.
Minnie's Moose, Mousse, Minnie's Moose. It's the 2-hour ones, the one you want, and it goes all into the secret of Minnie's Moose. So remember in the Polanski Devil movie with Mia Farrow, where the woman Minnie next door keeps drugging her with moose, and she keeps calling the moose a mouse because she's doing that Twilight language shit.
Wow.
And it's really creepy. Roman Polanski's a real creep, I must say.
The creepiest. Yes.
I was hung by umbilical upon birth. Later was in gate. Weird correlation. As a kid, experienced weird deja vu constantly. That would make my skin crawl. I know what you mean about the deja vu. 100%.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Check out Fluently Forward. Great podcast on Epstein. Okay, I will. Kurt, have you looked at Macaulay Culkin? Yo, he had a band, Macaulay Culkin, called the Pizza Incident.
Dude, that shit you posted about pizza the other day was hysterical.
Oh, all I did was take the Star Search that's on Netflix, because I've met Chrissy Teigen. In fact, you know the last time I saw her in person, Chrissy Teigen?
Jelly roll
was Sherrod. So Chris Rock had gotten tickets that he wanted to go to this thing for Who's America's Next Top Model, that black chick who's not the other one that's even
Tyra Banks?
Not her, the other one from Top Model. I can't remember her dumb name, but we went to her thing, and it was all about she had a girls camp for young. It was for at-risk girls.
Who was the one from Conan, the black one, the wild one? I was going to say her name. I couldn't think of it.
Oh, Grace Jones. Dude, Yeah, no, wait. I'm gonna get her name because hold on, because this was wild. America's Next Top Model. It was. Oh, it was Tyra Banks. I'm sorry, I'm confusing her with Naomi Campbell.
Tyra Banks, yeah.
So Tyra Banks has had at the time this camp. So it's this big dinner. I go there with me and my girl and Sherrod and his girl. And that's where I see Chrissy Teigen sitting there. And Tyra Banks. It was called
bumping elbows with the celebrities, brother.
I mean, I've been around. And it was called the Flossum Ball, like flossing and awesome.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And so it was a camp that Tyra Banks set up for at-risk young girls. Already in today's saying it out loud doesn't sound good. So basically, this camp, the purpose of this, besides getting money out of celebrities, because we left early because then they were like passing the plate for this horseshit.
Oh yeah.
But it was her mom. Tyra comes out and her mom, and I guess the gist of this camp was no matter where a girl comes from in life, Tyra Banks can do anything. All right, Kurt, have you looked at Macaulay Culkin's band? Then yes, I have. And also, how about Dave Portnoy's pizza reviews? I think he was just reviewing pizza, but he's a cunt, so I like saying
nice. $20. Good. Thanks for the donation to Kurp, man. That's good. Yeah. That's a good one. Nice.
Oh, that's from Emma. Thanks. Emma kicked that in. Rotation, counter rotation gives stability. Oh, right. So that would be the Nazi belt. Okay, that's okay. Thanks for that. On your graphic, my wife Susan said she likes the one-eyed corn chip the most. Should I attempt to wang some sense into her or divorce her? Dude, it's your marriage.
Divorce her.
I'm not married. Okay. Now I do have a hemorrhoid that does hurt. So I guess we connect in that way. But connect this to humidity, mold, fungus, plant disease. An upstate New York themed episode with Burmis. I don't know how to connect this to humidity and mold and plant disease. Do you?
No.
All right, what's next? Magnificent content and appreciate study and practice hermetic principles daily, and you'll think better. And please get Roger's spur from Mud Fossil. This man has
I know Roger.
Yeah?
The thing is, though, like, he's a smart guy, but he's like a little delusional till it's crazy. Like, he thinks like caves are vaginas, massive vaginas of giants. He thinks like everything is petrified. Every rock is like a petrified giant.
Cave is a petrified giant vagina?
Yeah. He thinks the cave is and just from going on Google Earth, he goes, "Oh, that cave's a vagina." No, dude, similar structures form in rock, in the universe.
Well, that sounds hermetic, right? Like just a series of caves, really. All right, what's next?
Yeah.
Dr. Emperor Kurp. Now, I don't have the title of Emperor yet, but I may assume it. Should I stick to Team Asteroid or join the Pole Shift gang? I would look at their health plans, honestly. That's the best advice I can give. All right, what's next? Okay, Super Sticker, thanks. What else? Can we get some Mishlove to put a finger up our butts and lecture about climate change?
Oh, my dude.
Does he lecture about does he lecture about climate change?
Dude, unfortunately, I don't know if you could do it live, though, because like not many people know him.
That's the thing. I have to make him more popular so I can do this impression that, by the way, is very low effort. I can't stress that enough. I'm literally just doing Harry Carey from Will Ferrell and my face. What's next? Where is Patouche? I want to full. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking for Patouche.
Dude, I always thought it would be funny if like you should like. I'm not telling you what you should do, but it would be funny if like a comedian brought up the fact that like people go into Roman Catholicism to hide that they're gay, and they go in to become a Wiccan to explore that they're gay. Right? I always thought that would be funny. I thought that would be funny if like somebody like you explained that.
I hadn't put it together till you said it, but I think you're right, dude. DJ Cam Wow. I called the Four Claw podcast. What are you, my AA sponsor? Do you know your chat is full of tinfoil hat wearing crazy conspiracy? Probably. How do we become a channel member? I think you just subscribe. I don't know. Sherpa through the interwerper. Thank you. Was it Cosmic Irish?
Cosmic Irish ball kick, dude. I
got kicked in the balls and it blew my fucking mind. My last name is Metz. Are we long lost cut? My Jew. German answers were also blacksmith associated with the Templars. I don't know. My grandpa worked for Boeing during the war, and he got disillusioned with war and became a Jehovah's Witness, and then that's why my dad was a Jehovah's Witness. But I have no idea. I don't want to take a test now. Ever heard of BZ gas, a potent aerosol? BZ gas, an aerosol psychedelic developed by the government. I heard it from Ghost Stories for the End of the World. Is BZ gas? I'm asking. I don't know. Is that the one from Jacob's Ladder? That at the end of Jacob's Ladder? If that is what it is, then that's fucked up. Because Jacob's Ladder was about Edgewood Arsenal, where They fucking, dude, it was Benadryl. You know, people that trip on Benadryl and see the Hat Man and all that awful shit. It's on Earwid Drug Vault, and there's all these people giving their reports of these shitty trips on Benadryl, which what Bill Cosby was drugging people with, by the way. We're evil to do that. To not even give them a Quaalude. I mean, give me a Quaalude.
Diamond tap and seeing the fucking Wendigo.
The despicable U.S. military fucking they synthesized something that could give you the peak of a Benadryl trip for 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks?
Yeah, that's what they did to people. So Jacob's Ladder, all that vibrating head thing you see, that's about that. I don't know if that's the same gas, but I bet you it is. Okay, what else? James, go back. I mean, yeah, James L. Brooks, creator of The Simpsons, wrote the words that came out of Walter Cronkite's mouth. He did during the JFK assassination. Wait, James L. Brooks, the creator? I thought it was Matt Groening and James L. Brooks, the producer. Producers aren't the creators of shit.
Did Conan O'Brien have something to do with the early Simpsons or no? I thought
it becoming good. The monorail episodes where it becomes like watchable, I would say.
He wrote some of the shit.
It was all old like Matt Groening therapy jokes that weren't very funny. But there was nothing like it. So when Tracy Ullman was on, and my little friends would go, "Oh, but there's this funny ass cartoon on Tracy Ullman called The Simpsons," and so there wasn't anything like it. So I was like, "Oh, it's really funny."
Yeah, it was great.
But if you go back and look now, they're like unwatchable almost.
Yeah,
Duffless, I liked Duffless when Homer had to stop drinking, and then I worked with that writer later on Ugly Americans. He's a good guy. I liked him. Let's see.
I haven't watched TV in like 10 years since I put it on one night for like 10 minutes at 2:00 in the morning with the old school New York sour diesel that I smoked. And I friggin' literally for
that's
10
what
minutes,
I would always get.
I got fooled by the Animal Planet that they fucking had a discovery in Indonesia of a hobbit. I thought it was real.
Remember they put out
minutes.
fake mermaid things? They put out fake mermaids. They put out that, and they put out dragons, and people got mad because it was like making an AI thing or something of fake. Yeah, I remember that, and that was a controversy when they're like, all right, we're just gonna do child beauty pageants now. Talk about a keynote and how it's still going on today. That's a whole other. I'm gonna have to bring. I'll bring you back to it because we'll get into the keynote thing. We'll sure. I'll bring you back soon to do it if you could do it.
Yeah, definitely. And like they tried to ask me to join the Temple of the Set and then the Process Church, and they were a part of. I guess they're kind of
the Temple of Set was part of the Process Church. Wait.
No, they were connected to the Process Church in some way.
Okay, yeah. Well, because it's all CIA at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't think they were like technically part of it, but they were like connected. And
it's all cutouts. It's a cutout of a cut. Oh, my new show I sold the pilot. We're making it right now. It's called The Cutout. It's all about
they were doing rituals right here in Untermeyer Park. Right here.
Isn't that the thing with Son of Sam? Is that the park where Son of Sam said they were doing?
I don't want to get into too much about my family, but my cousin Michael Imperioli. He wrote the script for Summer of Sam and sold it to Spike Lee.
Oh, right? No shit.
His mom and dad are my aunt and uncle, my Aunt Claire and my Uncle Danny. Yeah. We lived around that area. My family grew up around that area where Son of Sam. Yeah. But it was like I was born during that time. So my older brother and sister were up around that time, and Michael's the same age as my older brother.
There's a larger cult. It wasn't one guy. Everybody.
Oh yeah, it was a larger cult.
It should be obvious. Usually,
dude, I always thought. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, my girl, all chicks know everything about true crime because women get murdered a lot, so they're fascinated by being murdered, and so that's like Batman for women, listening to horrible true crimes. But the kind of chicks that don't believe conspiracy stuff will tell you, yeah, no, he didn't act alone because they've really looked into it.
Definitely not. He had multiple shooters, and what's interesting is I'm surprised nobody ever brought up the fact that like they always said like Son of Sam meant like the Sam part was like about somebody's dog, but like the park that they did all their rituals in is Samuel Untermeyer Park.
The guy that fucking got what's his name? Well, the guy that made the Schofield Bible, he got Schofield. Untermeyer's the guy that got him in the Lotus Club.
Yep. So
wow. Okay. That's some real Illuminati shit, man. All right. Is Sylvia Brown real? Well, the woman I know was real because I used to see her on TV a lot. But her powers, I don't know. Are these psychics all witches?
I don't think so. I think she had a team of people literally investigating things before she would do her spiels.
If you ever experience anything, and like I said, some people maybe more than others, but everybody has some degree of it. You've experienced it.
I think she had the gift. But she had a team because she was so much demand for her, she couldn't keep up with
Exactly
it.
right. What I say it is because I know this shit can happen because I've felt it and I've experienced it. It's not like a thing you can go make a TV show.
Yeah.
And go, it's just not. You know,
100%.
you're gonna have to fake it no matter what. And a lot of these people, and to keep in mind, people that are real magicians, they employ a lot of lies and fakery because that's a big part of magic.
Good point.
Because your ability to project that they're hijacking the way these plasma things do to make you see what they want you to see, it's just hijacking it because once you do that, the imagination thing, that's that, and then actual what they call magic could happen if I get enough of you chained together, focused on a thing. That's
powerful.
I need a lie to do it first. I need tricks and lies to get you all focused. And then it becomes real. And then we have to take our shoes off at the airport for the next 20 years. You see how magic works? Okay. Where's that one? I had a Kundi psycho bit in South Arizona. I watched Army aircraft hang out with 2 giant plasma balls bounce around the sky. Ended up in Lake Havasu, and all the ER stuff turned into monsters before I passed out. I mean, it sounds right. Okay, what's next? Weird, dude. That's weird. What did you have it from? Were you doing Reiki? Thrice Kurp.
This is my favorite podcast I've ever been on, by the way. And you know what,
man? I appreciate it.
Dr. Heather Lynn the other night texted me and she said that's my most favorite podcast I've ever been on.
Yeah, no, that was my best episode so far. Wait, Thrice Kurp. Thrice Kurp. You ever wonder if Hermes with his winged feet, wing helmet, and winged caduceus with the serpents might be one of the seraphim? Didn't Gary Wayne? Didn't you guys say what it was?
And it's representing like plasma entity symbolism, right? It very, very, very interesting stuff.
Some kind of plasma avatar, huh? There's seriously a school in Minneapolis called Cristo Rey Jesuit High School, open in the Colin Powell Youth Leadership Center building. That's very ominous. That's a lot of bad things. I got derpies. You can't prove you got it from me. All right, what's next? Where's the Derp House Rock theme song? I've been fucking around with fake openings because when I get bored, I'll just put that. Check out everything by Gurdjieff. I recommend asking Richard Rourke, a dark journalist. Dark Journal actually was just messaging him about a Gurdjieff thing because Steve Bannon was a Gurdjieff guy. Because Dr. Heather Lynn recommended that book by Titlebound that I've been listening to on Audible, like right after that I started. And Bannon is a dark magician, 100%. There's no question in my mind. The pink stuff you had at Gate had sodium.
A powerful Hebrew word too. Ruach without the R. Ruach.
Yeah,
Ruach.
right. That's Kabbalah shit. Yep. It had sodium pentothal in it. It forever warps your filter. What filter? I'm mid-Twyman rabbit hole right now. Finish Minnie's Moose today. Listen to SB Alger's interviews. Is Cain Baphomet plasma based? Well, I mean, a lot of stuff is, isn't it?
I would think the original Baphomet symbolism is yes.
And I've heard from people telling these crazy stories. The plasma thing really answers a lot of questions with it because people will talk about how they can join together and form almost incorporate like a corporation, 2 or 3 different things. And that Baphomet's almost to me seems like a corporation of those. You know, like how Legion is in the Bible. We're Legion, a division of Satan Corps, you know? I've been double derped. Good, man.
And unfortunately, the plasma is like a hot word right now. So a lot of people are talking about it who don't understand or have not. So they're like, I heard one lady the other day, she said the word plasma 100 times in 20 seconds. Plasma. Like,
I mean, I've been throwing it out on Rogan and shit, but the way I thought of it is I knew it's the 4th state of matter.
Yes.
Now, radiant matter would really make it a lot more clear what the hell it is if I'd heard radiant matter. But plasma, so it's like there's gas, right? And then I was thinking of plasma as like the steam of steam. Like if you heat steam until it forms some other kind of steam. To me, that was plasma. That's the only way I could get my head around it. But radiant matter, I think, is a great way to say it. Yeah. I want to see more of the 8-foot-tall grays. I don't know if you do, dude. And I like how Hemorrhoid Herds spaces his super chat. It's like a stripper. Okay, what else?
Yeah, Rogan would love my info, bro. He would definitely love my info. Plus, I did Muay Thai, too. He would love that.
Jacob's Ladder is about being in Bardo. Yes, I know it's about that. But at the end of the movie, it says the thing about Edgewood Arsenal at the end. Because there's all these
even the Bardo realms. Even the Bardo realms of Tibetan. I mean, they're after death, they're seeing all these alluring lights, right? And these lights allure them to different dimensions. I mean, that's all plasma.
Have you watched the American Illuminati doc here on YouTube? It talks about how the U.S. was engineered by a secret organization infiltrated by religious groups, political parties, includes Rosicrucian. I mean, I know that. I haven't watched it, but I know that's what it is. What else? Dark Journal's episode on plasmas and nukes, breakthrough by a Nazi scientist in America that led to a nuke breakthrough. I haven't watched the new one yet, but I'm going to. Tied to India Red Mercury. Very interesting.
Wow.
This is the last thing I want to ask you. John Lear, that old guy, he's
I knew him. I knew him.
So I watched a bizarre interview with him that I can't find, but somebody could find it. And he's talking about all these things that he goes, and he just throws out all this crazy stuff that was so bizarre that I kept looking for it, right? So one of them was there's like actually 38 planets in the solar system. And I remember looking that up, and you could maybe say that based on if you want to not split hairs about what a planet is. He said the surface of the moon, he said the sky would look yellow on the moon. If you're standing on the moon, the sky looks yellow. He said the sun is not hot.
Is he talking about like objects in the Kuiper belt and all that stuff too?
Maybe. He said the sun is not hot, which I think is this plasma thing you're talking about.
Like
and then he said the whole solar system is under the control of the serpent race. Okay, so I go, there's other shit too. He said, if anybody finds it, and I was like, what the fuck's the serpent race? Lizard people? For a while, I couldn't find it.
Naga?
Well, then maybe that. But then I find out that that's what in Masonry they call the sons of Cain, the serpent race. They call themselves the serpent race.
Yeah.
In fact, a bunch of these people call themselves that.
In a lot of mythology, the serpent symbolism has to do, and the serpents come from the chaotic underworld and the celestial waters. That all has to do with solar emissions and magnetic field lines. They move like serpents.
Well, Tracy Twyman said that Baphomet was always trying to get its children into royal bloodlines. So, because they're not allowed to physically copulate like back in the day, there's these weird things. And Nathan Reynolds said you could drink the blood of this serpent thing, and it's a way to become its child without it physically doing intercourse. It's all these, like he said, they're very legalistic, so it's all legal workarounds. It all rings true to me because Gary Wayne says that corporate system is the satanic system. That's what it is. Yep.
Gary's my man.
I'm out of time, dude. Ari, I gotta have you back on pretty. In fact, I want to have you on like pretty soon to get into the Aquino stuff because we didn't have time. But fucking great, very interesting, dude. I really appreciate you coming. Thanks, man. Tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at themysticalspiralstore.com. You can find me Rock Castaldo on Substack, but all my copper devices, everything, even free info, themysticalspiralstore.com. If you want to find me on YouTube, Exploring the Caul with Ra, my Space Water podcast right there that you see behind me. And I have a Patreon as well, patreon.com/themysticalspiral. Brother, I really appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
And everybody else, you just got derped.
Spiral out.